This is the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast. I'm Dalton Gray.
And I'm Ryan Humphreys.
Broadcasting from our hometown of Fairbanks, Alaska. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast. I'm Dalton, and before we get into the show this week, I wanted to let you guys know that Mo and I, will be participating in a bear baiting clinic of sorts at Screaming Eagle Archery here in Fairbanks at their local store. It is located just off the overpass on the way out towards North Pole on your way out of Fairbanks. You can find them on Google Maps to find their new location. They have an indoor range and a space to do these kind of things, and we have decided to partner up with them for a single evening event on Saturday, April the 18th. It's going to start at 4:30 in the afternoon, and you don't have to pay to get in the door. We will have some waters and soda pop there, and we're going to try to be out of there by about 6:30. So we'll have a basic bear baiting course for those of you that are interested in bear baiting. You want to get kind of a crash course into that. If you're new here, this would be a great time. Or if you just want to get together with other like-minded people in the community in Fairbanks, this is a good opportunity to meet some other bear hunters, both experienced and just starting out. So you're welcome to attend. There will be a flyer available at the Screaming Eagle Archery store and a few other places around town. I think we'll have some at Sportsman's and Century and a few other places on the bulletin board. So tell your friends, and if you'd like to come out and join us, we'll have quite a bit of seating available. And hopefully we can fill this thing up and do a few more of these with some other guest speakers down the line and specialize on some topics and just get some community here in Fairbanks about hunting. So April 18th, Bear Baiting Clinic, Screaming Eagle Archery, and the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast is a co-production. Hope to see you there. Now let's get back to the show. They got busted for shooting at least one sublegal ram, and this was combined between the two of them. This was like their fifth or sixth sublegal ram that they had been written up for.
Like squeakers, at least, or like not that it justifies anything, but
yeah, it was sublegal. That's the only thing I know about it. But it was ridiculous. But yeah, them and their little group, and they had pulled this off many a time. And then I know of another guy. I've never actually met him in person, but I know of the situation where he shot a ram that was sublegal, looked around, and he was with a buddy, looked around the ridges and said, I don't see anybody, and just buried it with rocks. There was another hunter, like, across the divide from them on the next ridgeline watching them through the spotting scope.
Digiscoping them commit this crime?
This would have been pre-digiscoping era. This was quite a few years ago. But
make them great again.
And then, if I remember right, the story that I heard was that other person phoned the troopers, and this was like a hike-in or ride-in area, and the troopers basically, in one manner or another, met those guys back at the trailhead and said, let's go for a ride.
Take a walk,
Yeah. And they went out and they made him recover the ram. Said, we know what you did. And, it was a bad deal. Yeah, one of those guys held a guide license. Not anymore, he didn't.
Held.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad deal. But, people try too hard. Like, they take a look at a ram and they study it and they study it and they study it. And the longer they look at it,
the more legal it gets.
The closer they think it is to being legal. And I've tried to tell people, and I was deathly afraid of this sheep hunting for the first time. Like, that was my biggest fear. Like, don't screw this up and shoot something that's not going to be legal. And even still, like, I would have to think that that's every sheep hunter's biggest nightmare is shooting a sublegal. Aside from, the occasional story that you'll hear of like, oh yeah, the guy shot the wrong one. Like they were in a big bunch and he
but
switched.
They were all four,
right.
8. It was a good group.
Yeah. But it's a big time fear. Like you got to make sure, cause that's I mean, number one, it's humiliating and it's a waste because you put in all the same amount of sweat equity that you would into shooting a legal ram, and now you just have to do your walk of shame back to town and hand it over. And
Still got to pack it out.
It's a shame, but yeah,
Do you think like the allure of sheep hunting and like the culture that's kind of been created by it makes people push a little bit? Because
I think
maybe
it's
I
part of
haven't
it,
been
yeah.
bitten by it yet,
Yeah.
not having sheep hunted at all. I dream to, but like these guys I hear, and I would never say, you shouldn't kill more than one or two rams. I don't care. Like, do what you want to do. Me, I shoot one with a rifle. I'll never carry a rifle again, and then I shoot one with a bow, and I'd probably be done. Maybe that'll change, but
You
does
get the
this-
bug that might change.
yeah,
Now, I haven't
and
killed
I don't
one
wanna
yet.
say
but
that, but does this like? I mean, I've heard of guys killing upwards of 20, and they're my age.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's cool. I think it's awesome. That's got to push it, and like you got to keep up with this guy. Like I don't get it.
I don't think that it used to be that way. I think that the sheep numbers that we used to have across the board in this state, it used to be, I mean, sure, I'm not trying to say that shooting 15 or 20 rams wasn't a big accomplishment. It was. But in today's climate for sheep hunting, like even the last 5 years of sheep population decline overall,
Unit closures, draws.
it has become a much bigger accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like somebody says, "Oh yeah, you've been sheep hunting," and if someone now says, "I've been sheep hunting since 2020," that's 5 fall seasons. And if they say, "Oh yeah, I've killed 5 rams in 5 years,"
That dude's got it going on.
he's pretty good. Now, especially if they are trophy quality rams, like 10 years old class, even if they're 9, but they're all 38 inches or longer, which is a nice sheep. But even just killing 5 legal rams in the last 5 years, especially if they're not paying to fly into an area,
Right.
that's extremely impressive in a lot of areas. But to some extent, that there's a lot of dialogue in the hunting community, especially in Alaska right now, about should we be allowing residents to shoot sheep every single year, and should we be over the counter for everything? And the problem is sheep numbers have been low before, and they came back. Now they're low again. And the problem is if you self-police too much to the point where you turn it into legalities, you're not going to get those things back.
Right.
That's the worry. And there are units that are still closed that were originally closed like 5 years ago.
Like,
on
hey,
a,
we're going to close it for 1 year.
on a 2 or 3 year closure, and now we're going on like year 5 or 6. And nobody's even mentioned the word reopening yet.
You forgot about it.
Yeah, most people do. Like they just get used to going somewhere else, and they just kind of forget about
You
it.
just don't
Like,
look at that part of
oh
the map
well,
anymore.
yeah, that's closed. The
And
Western
not
Brooks is
even-
like that, and that's been like that for years and years and years now.
Not even a draw. It's like no
Oh, yeah.
hunting.
Closed. Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
talked to 2 different people about it and kind of got the same opinion. Is like you don't want to restrict it because then
Yeah.
once you open the door to that,
Right.
it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, well, just because that guy doesn't kill one this year doesn't mean his brother, cousin, wife,
Exactly.
son isn't going to. If you're a successful sheep hunter, you're going to make it happen.
Exactly.
So 'cause
I
there's
was-
just as much in it for you if you're
Yeah.
helping. Like if you two, for example, like, well,
Yeah.
you killed one last year, you're going to help him next
Yeah.
year. So
Yeah.
and the state will figure it out. I would hope.
Yeah, and I tend to be optimistic about it. I really try to, and that's the approach that Mo and I just kind of have chosen to take. Time will tell if it's the right approach, but I think there are other things that we could be doing to help sheep populations before we start closing down units and switching to draw. Like 19C, they took a draw for this year. That's the first time that's been a draw. And a lot of guys put in for it because it used to be over the counter. A lot of guys know how to hunt it. A lot of guys have been in there a lot.
Yep.
Genetically speaking, that subunit has put out some giant sheep in past years. Giant genetics. But it's not over the counter anymore. So if you don't draw it, where are you going sheep hunting? The Central Brooks has remained closed, and that particular subunit that you can access off the road, how many guys hunted the Central Brooks that are now flying other places or hiking in other places? At
It's just condensing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
what point are you closing one area due to low numbers and sending the rest of those hunters to other areas and producing more low numbers in different units? And then it's the trickle-down effect of how many guys are actually going to switch spots. So you will lose some that are just going to say, well,
I'll sit this
numbers
one out.
are so bad, I'm just not going to sheep hunt anymore. I'll just go caribou hunting, or I'll go mountain goat hunting, or I'll go, bear hunting in the fall, whatever. And some guys have done that.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken a lesser approach to sheep hunting because of it. But there are a lot of hardcore guys that are just saying, well, I want to go sheep hunting, so I'm going to go somewhere else.
And then you have guys like us that are growing up here and like, I want to go sheep hunting. I grew up in Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do? We find the over-the-counter areas and try to
Yeah.
make our stab at it.
Or you put in for Delta for the first time when you draw it. Which
You
leads
guys had
me
a
to my
buddy
next
that he's
point.
drawn it twice, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We have multiple friends that
Yeah.
put in for it for the first time, and this is over the last few years, but the first time they ever put in for it and they draw it.
The early or the late?
Either one.
Yeah.
My dad drew the early one in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
First time he ever applied for it. He didn't get a ram. He spent a ton of time in there and didn't get a ram.
Yeah, he just didn't really go in far enough.
I don't think so. But traditionally, there's been rams killed there.
Yeah,
And
but
he spent a lot of time in there.
traditionally there's
But-
been more sheep there too.
Exactly. And Matt Size, didn't Tyrell draw it his first time putting in for it too?
I don't know if it was first time or not, but
Maybe not. And then my boss this year, like
Awesome.
Friday morning on tag day, which it's funny because just earlier that week we were all at a job site together, and my boss says, "Hey, what day is this appointment day?" And I knew exactly what he was talking about because he had put in for some tags too that I told him to put in for. And I said, "I think it's Friday the 20th." And sure enough, Friday that morning we're at a job site together, and I pulled up my phone at like 8:15. I thought, oh yeah, they should be out by now. So I quick pulled up my name. Hey, and then he goes, "Did you get something?" And I said, "Yeah." And then he comes running over and type in my name. So I typed in his name. He drew Delta Sheep, and the reaction was as good as it could get because he like for 2 seconds looked at my phone and saw the no and then the yes, and he saw which numbers they were, and he just threw his head back. Because he knew that I'd been putting in for that tag for years now. So I'm taking him sheep hunting in August.
That was gonna be my question.
That's
Are you
his
gonna
first time going sheep hunting.
Nice.
He's
so that was the early one he drew.
yeah, he drew the early
Okay.
one. I didn't put in for the early one, but whatever. It ain't no secret.
go? I did.
Yeah.
I put in for both. I put 3 and 3.
I always put all 6 on one, baby.
Yeah. What's the?
Put it all on black.
You're way smarter than me, but I didn't look at any data or
Is
like.
he? Because he didn't draw anything and we did.
We'll get to that because
I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
because the way say Colorado worked, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Ranked choice voting.
2 through 4 are useless. Don't do it.
Bunch of liberals.
Like you put number 1, you're whatever. But here it's like, well,
Yeah.
if I just send 6 on each one,
Right.
your odds got to be higher, right?
Right.
So I just sent 6 on all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't gamed it yet,
Put it
but
all on black.
guess I didn't have to.
Well, so the odds this year for the early and the late were about the same.
Yeah.
Previous years, the odds for the early have been a lot
I
better.
didn't even look at how many they were giving out for the early and the late.
34?
Was it 34, 35
I don't
on
remember.
each?
I think it was 34, 35, yeah.
For early and late. For each one. So like a
I
combined
only
total
looked
of
at
about
early.
70.
I talked to someone about the early, and
I
they're
don't
like,
remember.
"You should do that." And I was like, oh, "I don't want to walk that far."
Dude, that's one of the shortest walking sheep hunts you could possibly
I think
do.
he was confused with something, and I was like,
You
but then
have
I heard
the-
of a transport that's pretty solid for that one. But
There's that too, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But if you draw the early one, I think there's...
like in an afternoon's summer breezy walk, I could have you looking at sheep in there.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, see, I'm learning. So
Yeah. I have heard more... Well, I think we all have heard more than one story about someone who drew Delta, went and parked down at Black Rapids Lodge, looked up at the ridge, went up and shot it, and came back down and got a cheeseburger and then drove home to Fairbanks. I have met more than one person that has pulled that off.
as happy as you would be that you were successful,
Yeah.
you didn't suck at all.
It ain't the same. No.
That is kind of the point of the Delta hunt, though. Like you might, depending on how
You
it goes,
have
you
the
might.
chance.
Yeah.
But it's all about trophy management. Now Toke, that Delta and Toke are the two units closest to Fairbanks, I think, that probably get the most attention for sheep hunting. Harper is close to Fairbanks too, relatively speaking. But
Because you can drive to it.
Haven't heard great things about populations around Harper.
Well, late season Delta, I could get you on a wheeler within a mile or two of sheep.
Oh yeah,
That's insane. I didn't know that.
easy,
Yeah.
easy, and that's why everybody puts in for it.
Yeah, that's why the late season has traditionally been
Yeah.
a lot harder draw.
If you're listening to this podcast, don't think you're learning anything new.
Yeah.
If you've never heard of Delta sheep, then yeah, get in line with the rest of the 6,000 that put in for it.
I'm sure they'll draw because it'll be the first time, but for them,
Well, I talked to a guy in the store today that drew toke. So
but yeah,
You know, I think I only know of 2 guys personally that have drawn toke since I have
Yeah.
been up here as an adult. Yeah. I forgot all about that. 2 guys.
how many tags do they give out?
I don't
2 or 3.
I don't remember.
Not very
I've never put in for toke. I haven't. I should. Toke would be fun.
Delta's the one I've always put in for because I know the area.
Right.
So
yeah, I had to put my foot in my mouth when he was like looking at rifles for it because I didn't want to speak ill of his gun selection. But I was like, hey, man, awesome. Congrats. I was like, I wouldn't take that gun in my head, but
He's like picking out a CVA.
much more expensive, but might as well. Like, I was trying
Christensen.
To start with the same letter.
we'll let,
Okay. All right.
but let's just say I put a Bergara in his hand later on. And he's like, well, I'll have to look into this one.
Oh, really?
So hopefully he'll go
Put
that
it-
way.
Put a Bergara in his hands?
Well, you don't know that? I'm a big Bergara guy, man.
I mean, I know that, but if you're trying to sell, I mean, come on, man.
Chris Squared Carbon, man. That's a baller rifle.
That is a nice looking rifle. You know, there was a time when I was really, really interested in buying one of those, but that time has passed. For now,
Yeah.
for now, I was talking about doing all kinds of stuff until, well, until plans happened this year.
Yeah. And then I tell you about something and you're just like, huh, must be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going hunting, so hunting ain't free.
No.
We do it because beef is expensive.
Right.
Not me. I
That's our running joke.
I look at like because I not having kids and just get bored and it's been the worst winter, right? Apparently, I have no frame of reference.
Yeah.
The
It's been
amount
a
like,
normal winter, man. This is
Yeah.
winter growing up
This
in
is
Fairbanks.
Back to Alaska.
Except for the wind. We don't usually have wind.
yeah,
But
but I'm looking at all this stuff and it's like how much per pound of did I pay for that caribou I killed last year?
Yeah.
It's like you can't put a value on it, I guess. But
Right.
so
Yeah. Well, I think we've already been recording for long enough. We should probably just formally introduce
Should
what's
we?
going on here.
should we
Yeah.
just act like
Welcome
missed
back to the
something?
Great Alaska Hunting Podcast, everybody. My name's Dalton,
I'm Mo.
and we're joined this week again by Nate. Say hi to the folks, Nate.
how's it going, guys and gals?
You got to be inclusive.
Yeah.
Well, I
Unlike the-
almost restarted my
You can get impeached
formerly
if not.
Twitter account.
Oh, you're what now?
Well, so I had a Twitter account, right?
Okay.
I haven't since used it, but you guys were talking about it, and I was like, if he's that unhinged on there, I gotta see this. So I was thinking about it, and it slipped my mind. So I was like,
Yeah, that's right. You were talking about Mo's unhinged personality on X.
I do from time to time. Yeah, I don't know. It's annoying because you like make a post and make a bunch of people mad, which is great. People call you all kinds of names and it's awesome. And then you go like a week's making posts and like you get a like from the one follower that actually sees your posts. And
I'll get back on there.
Oh, Mo. Nice guy.
give me another
Tries
like.
hard.
Yeah.
Tries hard, loves the game. Yeah, so we're just kind of going over draw results. If you
Yeah.
can't already tell by the title of the episode, it's How to Rig the Alaska Draw Tag System.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah. We're
So I
sitting here
shouldn't
with-
say that my first year of eligibility, I drew a tag. Not a hard one to draw.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
That.
What's the percentage like on that one? Does anybody know?
What I mean, I can pull
There's
up some draws.
100 permits, I believe, is
Is
the
there?
number. Well, there's 2 separate ones. They do just the strict, antlerless management area, and then they have a separate disabled veteran one as well.
Yeah.
Which I'm eligible for both. I just haven't done the paperwork to put in for that
Gotcha.
one. I don't even have the disabled license yet.
Gotcha.
I just keep donating money to the state.
So if you get the disabled license, can you shoot a crossbow?
If you have the exception, which I'm just going to stop bow hunting at that point. If I,
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, if you get the crossbow license, then I'm just going to give up faith in the
it'll be a
entire
vision
system.
thing for me before it's a physical ability. So,
Really?
yeah,
How bad is your eyesight?
it's good enough for now. But will the scope of a crossbow aid? Maybe. Like I can still see my pins very well, but
Yeah. Interesting.
so
Do you
we'll
wear
see.
contacts then?
I have a specialized contact. It's called a scleral lens. So besides like a normal contact, it's what's it? It's not it's silicone or some type of rubber,
Okay.
whatever.
I
It's
don't know anything
flexible.
about that.
Yeah.
Mine is a piece of either glass or epoxy. It's rigid, but it's basically the shape of your eye, but it's large, much larger than your pupil. And I have this little applicator I have to put it in with.
Huh.
I don't wear them all the time because like I can drive and read text messages and stuff, but it
Drive
helps
and read text.
separately. I don't know how many troopers listen to your podcast. I'm sure there's one or two, but
Yeah, they're probably in there taking notes.
no, it helps. It really cleans up the reticle in an optic, so I wear it when I shoot. But so far with my bow, I haven't had to use it.
So can you get like 10 power lenses then?
I asked and they're like, we don't have magnified ones yet. I was like, okay.
Yeah. No.
Well, was it the Neuralink?
Yeah. I've heard about that.
As soon as it's viable, like I'll volunteer. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I have to shoot left-handed, like because I'll only have them my vision's degraded in my right eye pretty bad. But
Neuralink to stuff with the eyes.
so that's the thing. I think if they can do that, give me the fake eyeball, and it's just like
I don't think Neuralink. I mean, unless they've changed their thing.
That's just like the computer in your brain.
Neuralink is where they take like paraplegics,
Yeah.
put a bunch of hair wires into their brain, and give them the ability to control a mouse or a phone with their mind.
We'll do it with an eyeball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're working towards that, but
Man.
okay. Which permit did you draw?
788
788.
cell phone.
Yeah, DM 788.
DM 788. Yes, sir.
113 tags given. How many hunters? Oh, come on.
How many applied? Does it say that?
Well, so I haven't used the phone version of this particular.
Is that the supplement?
This is Onyx.
Oh,
Way better than supplement.
you should just use ADF and G's website.
No, this is way better.
Does Go Hunt update the Alaska Draw stuff?
I
pretty well?
don't know. I have an insider membership, and I have not.
You
been
still
on
have
there
an
in a
insider
while.
membership?
I do.
I quit mine a long time ago after the
Yeah.
app started sucking.
Yeah, the app does suck a bit.
I think they do much more for the lower 48. Like Colorado,
Yes.
it was like
Yes.
it was a game changer for that. But I've logged into it here and there because
Yeah.
I forgot. Like,
At one point, I felt like they were on par. Like the differences were subtle
Yeah.
with Onyx, and then at some point, I just started having tons of glitches,
Yeah.
and I gave up. I stopped.
Mo
I'm
was
like, I'm not
specifically
gonna keep-
referring to their mapping.
Mapping.
app.
Yes, the mapping,
Yeah.
which is what.
Yeah.
yeah, I bought it for the unit profiles.
Yeah.
I prefer
Yeah.
the Onyx mapping features much
Yes.
better.
Yeah, I
But-
agree. I think most people do.
Yeah.
I
14%
only got
draws.
the
That's actually really
insider because I was getting a few things. Like I bought my last couple of inReaches through Go Hunt.
Their gear shop's legit.
yeah.
Like, and you earn points like crazy.
Exactly. And so that's part of why I got it originally, and then I kept it because you got the maps included.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't even opened my Go Hunt Maps app, if I even still have it, in at least a year and a half or 2 years now. Everything I do is either Google Earth 3D on an app or Onyx Maps, and most of it's Onyx.
Yeah.
Onyx's 3D game has come a long, long ways. And it's awesome because of other features too, but we don't have to publicize everything.
Yeah.
I was going to say that off air before we started recording, but then Mo just decided to start recording randomly. But
Well, it's otherwise it's just we're gonna sit here forever before we.
exactly.
And you can't rehab a conversation. It's like, hey, remember we talked about 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Authentic.
Yeah. Let's go over that again and act surprised. So you got that archery moose tag. You got any big plans? You going to put up tree stands all over the Walmart parking lot?
So a couple things first. Like I was talking to someone about it, and they're like, "Why do you spend so much time, shooting rifles and reloading and
Yeah.
talking about this, and you know so much about it, and then you don't even rifle hunt?" It's like, well, that's not intentional,
Yeah.
but I mean, the opportunity to bow hunt just happens to present itself. Like you said, I didn't look at the percentage, but I was like, they give out over 100 tags.
It's like a 7% chance, which is surprisingly
Yeah.
good.
That's pretty good.
It just seemed
Yeah.
like a good opportunity. But yeah, so the first couple thoughts of mine were how many people I know that live in the area I can hunt that send me pictures all the time. Hey, check out the moose in my front yard. I
Yeah.
was like,
Right. Yeah.
you didn't draw it because I looked.
Yeah.
So that's the game. Like I made a couple phone calls, and then guys that come in the store that I know, and also some of the guys that work with me. It's like, hey, when you see one in your yard, give me a call, or hey, can I just come camp out for a weekend? You get half. That's the deal. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine. Like, I don't want to, say it's a slam dunk because I don't know.
Yeah.
But seems pretty.
Yeah. So if you have a moose in your front yard and it's September of 2026, then find NDog on X. Shoot him a message.
I don't know what do they call it, a handle or what's the X thing?
I don't remember now. Handle,
Just your username.
tag.
Yeah, I'll get on it tonight and see if I can recover my old account. It's got to be unhinged.
You gotta call it
I was
NDog, though.
17 when I started that.
Oh man.
And used it through college, and
It's how you got directions to all your meetups with your buddies.
I don't even.
What even was Twitter back then? Like, because I think it's changed in like what people do on it.
If I recall correctly, it was just the correct term would be like crap posting. You know what I mean? Like
that's
all I use
pretty
for.
much what it is now.
yeah. There's a lot of
With a character limit.
there's a lot of what I like about it, what I initially got on it for, which I don't even do as much anymore, but it's a very and I guess I do kind of mostly get my news from it. What?
Will it pick that up?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
go ahead.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead. It's fine.
Oh, if you drinking it, not really. No, you're fine. You're careful.
It's just a little ASMR.
Yeah. Anyhow,
my mustache dragging across the
I get
pants.
I get my news on it, which is nice. There's there's not hardly any hunting community on it, but there's a lot of gun community on it, which is like especially the
Like the
AR
gun
3D
tubers.
printing, because there's nobody trying to kick them off of it.
Right.
Whereas everywhere else, right, you post about 3D printing a gun and
Yeah, YouTube gone, like and all that work you put into it.
yeah, and so there's a ton of that on there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then like on around Christmas time, there's this whole and I don't know how long this has been going on. I got on X November of the last election, and just because I was started
What a time.
Yeah, I know, right? And
It's a gold mine, I bet.
Yeah.
and but I was following mostly political pages. Then I started following all these gun pages like Brownells and AT3 Tactical and stuff. Well, there's this thing that happens on Twitter around Christmas time and the holidays, the Nog Wars. And there's people crap posting back and forth about how much they like or hate eggnog. Hornady was in on it.
Oh,
Brownells.
I had no idea. This was even a
AT3. I mean,
thing.
Smith and Wesson. I mean, everybody like Hornady was like every picture they posted with a gun for weeks was with eggnog. Like,
So they're pro eggnog.
yes,
then.
yeah. The
Interesting.
pro nog and the anti nog forces. Yeah, I mean, to the point where smaller companies were like, if you use the code nog on our website, you get a discount, and it's like, I mean, it was insane.
I'll have to look that up.
I mean, I actually didn't know who AT3 Tactical was until then, and then
how much Mo loves Nog.
I do like. I was very pro
Big
Nog.
Nogger.
Contributed. I'm a veteran of the Nog Wars 2025.
You see how just easily he just speaks of these things as if they're just normal events.
Speaking
in
of
his life.
Nog Wars, I think what a coincidence that our government decides to do awesome things like the week we decide to hang out.
Yeah.
Because the last one was Maduro, and then
Right.
I don't know how directly involved they were with this one, but it was sponsored for sure. Like,
You're talking about the Mexico thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder what that's about.
Yeah.
Well, didn't the president of the State of the Union kind of like say that we did it? Like he didn't
I
directly
haven't
address
seen
it.
much.
We
of
were
it.
involved minimally. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't recall there being an official position, but it was.
Yeah.
I think there were training aspects maybe that were involved, but I don't know of actual direct support.
Well, the president of Mexico is threatening to sue Elon Musk for saying that she's being controlled by the cartels.
On Twitter or on X or through any official government capacity he had.
Well,
definitely
not
matters.
through the government. Like now, I think,
like just normal,
just like on
everyday
Twitter
Elon.
kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
As normal every day as the richest man in the world can be, which is pretty unhinged.
I mean, he's more normal than a lot of rich people. Like Bill Gates, he's way more normal than Bill Gates.
We really shouldn't get off on this subject.
We'll be
should.
talking about. Yeah, that's a good
Reel it
spot
back
to. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how to rig the draw system? So, do you plan to hunt pretty hard then for that moose tag? Plan to try to shoot one, or you got other things that you're just going to kind of keep that one in the back pocket for? Because it's a nice long season too.
A lot of people know what I drive, so I'm very.
That's the
'cause
problem with me too.
I want to keep my bow in the truck for 3 months, because I'll just take random trips. But a lot of people know what I drive, and then it's Fairbanks.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the thought process was, I'll just take a little trip here, or, on my way to work, I'll swing by here, but then I got to keep my bow in my vehicle. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan is to do a couple dedicated, 2 or 3 day, like overnight type things. And then when it gets colder, sit in right inside somebody's back door to their deck, and hopefully they walk through if it gets to that point.
There's rules about shooting on or across a roadway, but not about shooting from on or across a back door.
Or through a window.
Well, my wife sent me a house on Zillow, and the first thought that crossed my mind was the kind of the way the property laid, and it was like a downslope from the deck. I was like, I could shoot off that deck, A, but B, like there's going to be a moose roll through that yard, 100%. So that was my first thought.
Oh, the first thing you got to do when you buy a place is just plant cabbage around the entire perimeter of your yard.
Not baiting,
eat.
but
To eat.
it's
To
for
eat.
human consumption.
To eat.
Yes.
Cabbage and all kinds of, potatoes.
The first ever corn-fed moose.
Man, this meat looks like beef.
Yeah, look at the marbling.
marbling.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Wagyu moose.
yeah. Dude, I'll bet that would be good, though.
It probably would be.
I'll
Yeah.
bet it would.
A moose with actual fat on it that
Yeah.
wasn't from swamp plants.
Didn't know what you were trying to say there.
Yeah,
give
it
it a-
kind of.
Does it get fishy then if that's what their diet is, and
No,
they have
no.
any fat like
No. The only time I've ever heard
like
of
muddy?
Yeah, the only time I've ever heard of moose having kind of an off taste is when it's a super ruddy bull. And even then, like I've shot and killed moose in late September, like when they're rutting pretty good, and they've always been just fine. I don't know. I think a lot of, well, I think some of it, at least some of the people that I know of that have complained about moose meat taste has been because of the way that it was taken care of in the field. Like, moose, there's the highest chance of any species that you're going to shoot that sucker's going to die in the water. And if it dies out in a swamp somewhere, you got that muddy, mucky, decomposed top layer of muck that makes up the mud and all of the interior. The mud that you pull up to a trailhead and you step out of your pickup and it stinks.
Ends up on your meat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that ends up on your meat, then I definitely, that's going to.
But you're right. It has way more to do with the actual how they take care of it
Yeah.
than it does.
Or you get a lower 48 transplant like me that thinks, I'm just going to backpack into there and shoot this bull, and then
Like 10 miles in.
yeah,
somewhere.
6 days later I'm packing it out. And it's
You start making phone calls, and nobody's going to help you.
Enjoy.
Like if I carry that quarter out, it's going in my freezer.
I went out with a buddy of mine a couple of years ago and shot a bull in late September, and it was the first time that he grew up here, and now he's a young guy. He's only 20 years old, but it was the first time that he had ever been a part of a moose kill that wasn't able to either have a boat or a four-wheeler pulled right up to it. So he didn't even bring a pack frame. Like we got in the boat and got
used to just-
on the river, and I was loading. I threw my pack frame or my Barney's pack. I just brought my Barney's pack, and I said, "You got a pack frame stashed in here somewhere?" And he goes, "What do I need that for?" And I said, "Well, I've got these spots that we were going to go, on the river, and one of them is like a quarter mile off. Nothing crazy,
but you don't want to hand carry it.
but I'm not shoulder carrying that thing.
No.
I mean, I don't exactly have wide burly shoulders, so I'm putting things in a backpack, baby." And he's a lot stockier built than I am. He's more broad shouldered and a little better center of gravity for carrying heavy things than I am. But anyway, as it ended up being, we took turns using my Barney's pack. We shot it late in the evening. Well, we still had like 40 minutes of light left, and so I said, let's get as much of it cut up as we can now, and then when we come back first thing in the morning, then we'll get the rest of it cut up. And so he said, well, I can go ahead and make a couple of trips in the morning while you're finishing cutting it up, which worked great. So he made a few trips with my pack, and then he actually made a trip out once I was done cutting it and got it all in game bags. The last trip out, I had the pack, and I forget what I had in there, but it was the last load with the pack, and we still had like 2 bags of just spare meat, like neck meat, brisket meat, ribs, stuff
No
like
structure,
that.
just Jello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just Jello bags, but heavy Jello bags. And he said, let's not make 2 more trips. I'll just carry these over my shoulders like this. So he just kind of wrapped the top of the bags around his hands and just over the shoulders and just followed me out. By the time we got out back to the river where the boat was, he didn't drag it. He only set it down in the dry grass once we got out of the swamp. And but he was a trooper, man. I told him, I said, you can put those down wherever you would like, and I'll come back and get them with the pack. And he's like, no, I'm going to get them. We just need to get out of here. You could just see it in his face, like, I shouldn't have volunteered for this. But he said at the end of that hunt, he's like, that was great, but next time we got to bring like a chainsaw winch and like a quarter-mile rope and a jet sled so we can run rope all the way from the river.
And just winch the sled. That was
Yeah.
What?
And just run a chainsaw winch and winch, you know, in like a big jet sled, like put half the moose in there and then just just pull it all the way out to the
Oh my gosh.
I guarantee somebody's done it.
Oh,
Guarantee it.
dude, wouldn't that be a great idea though?
That's not a
Like,
bad idea.
If you were out in the open swamps like that and there was no big trees or real brush to get in your way, why not?
Yeah, if you're not
there is-
dealing with
if it's
deadfall
not
or-
big brush, clear it. And
If it's just one big grass flat marsh,
Yeah.
why not? Just bring all that rope.
or even if you did it, like even if you had a embankment or something, you could haul it, get it to the embankment, up the embankment, and then
Yep. And I don't leave on a moose hunt out of town without my rope along. It doesn't happen because, and my dad shot one a few years ago, and it died out in a swamp, and he waded out there with his chest waders and looped a rope around, I think around the rear quarters because, you know, dragging it from the front end ain't going to work with antlers. But it was out in the water, and I think he actually had to paddle a canoe out to it. But he tied a rope around the back legs and then just drug his rope all the way over to shore where there was high ground and rope along the moose. And he showed me a picture of it. There's a swath of grass about the width of this table. Like, I forget how many 100 yards, but it was a ways. But yeah, you don't go into a remote area like that without a rope along.
Yeah.
At least just to get it out of the water, because I don't want to. If I can help it, I do not want to cut one up in the water. That would just be a mess. Get swamp.
I've had to cut one up in like a couple inches of grassy water.
Yeah,
but that's
me
I mean
too.
that's standard, but
Me too, but not like thigh
A
deep
pond.
or stomach
Yeah,
deep or yeah. I've seen one too many YouTube videos where guys will shoot them and they'll take a dive off the edge of the lake and like I saw one
They're
of them
swimming.
that sunk. One of them went to the bottom. It was like 6 feet underwater, and the guy had to go dive and tie a rope around the antler and then pull it up to the boat. And it was relatively buoyant, thankfully.
That was my question. Would be how buoyant is it?
It seemed like it was actually not bad.
they usually are. That their hair is hollow.
Yeah.
So
Or well, here's shameless plug for small calibers, right? Smaller hole, not
Yeah, yeah. Don't kill them as fast; they won't go down.
yeah.
They'll
they'll
go
get-
retreat to
instead
high
of
ground.
instead of dying on the edge of the lake, they'll get out in the middle.
What a disaster! But
And sometimes your deer can end up in the middle of the lake too. So.
yeah.
You just swim out there and put it in your pocket, then, right?
Yeah, well, we had a deer go out in the middle of the lake one time.
Like actively swam as it was dying.
Yep,
Oh, I had one.
it's on YouTube.
I had one run
I'll
out
look it
into.
up.
I had one run out into a channel.
That's
do,
right.
Do they swim a good bit? Because I know like whitetails
Yes, they
cross
do.
rivers.
Actually,
Yes.
they do.
Yeah.
We about hit one with a boat one year.
Like
you
island
really?
hopping
I
deer.
wasn't-
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
see that one.
And there was a little channel. It's on the way to camp.
Okay.
The last long stretch on the way into camp.
Okay.
And that big wide channel there, it was right out in the middle. And I just saw
Really?
saw a head, and we were in the big boat too, and it was like. I said, "Turn around!" And we circle back, and there's this doe just.
What's the legalities of that?
Can't shoot from a boat.
You
Yeah.
can't shoot him in the water. Yeah.
In the water, period. So even if you hopped
You
out,
can't
of
shoot
said
'em if
boat-
you're in the water.
Yeah. You can't shoot from a boat. No.
You have to be on land.
Yeah. I think you can shoot him from a boat in parts of Kodiak, though.
Yeah, the regulation is different for parts
Yeah.
of the state, but
But yeah, no, they do swim fairly regularly.
yeah, I shot one from a distance,
Yeah.
and I've shot the nut off a deer at 200 yards.
You did.
Unintentionally, or
Yeah.
Very.
It was a very high adrenaline shot. You just jump out of the boat onto the rock, kneel down, shoot, and anyhow, I kind of sliced the guts open a little bit, took a nut off, and hit the back leg, so it was limping.
Yeah.
with the Wisdom or the 6-Art?
The Wisdom. That was
Nice.
with Barnes at the time. I was shooting 165.
Nice.
Yeah. At, whatever that thing comes out, factory.
31.
30. I was gonna say 31.
The factories on that, yeah. And it ran up into the trees, so jumped back in the boat. We motored up over there, jumped up, ran up, followed the massive blood trail. And
it came back
and
out.
it came back out like 30, 40
He was
yards
still up
over.
in the woods, and I yelled, "It's back out here!"
Like from
and
the
I-
beach.
And I looked
It ran
down,
back down, jumped back in the water.
and it was in the middle of the channel, and it like stood up on a rock, and I put one right through the heart, and
Yeah.
it jumped in the water and kept swimming for like 10, 20 yards
Yeah.
with a bullet through the heart. I mean, there was no heart left. There was a Barnes at 20 yards.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then died. It died, floated up, jumped back in the boat. We went over.
And then we pulled up to a different island. There was a bunch of little islands right there.
And where I cut it up, and while I was cutting up, him and the other guy went over and shot another deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good day.
It was a wild little day. But there,
That one floated. Yeah.
yeah, that one floated. There's another time that we saw one in the water too. I don't think you were there. I think it was Remington and my wife and I. We were in the other boat. We were in the inflatable
Oh,
back then. It was a long time ago. But we saw another one swimming out in a big channel there. But on a hunt, we had a friend of ours shoot one, and it was on a steep slope, and she shot it, and it just went on its death run, ran down and jumped in the water and swam out.
Like leapt into. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it went out like to the middle of this alpine lake, like deep, cold alpine lake with snow around the edge of it. And this was in August. This was like opening week of deer season. This was a couple of years ago now. But it died out there and went belly up, and there was almost no flow in that lake. So it wasn't going nowhere. Just sitting out there, white belly up to the sky. And I went, are you kidding me? So her dad that was with us had brought a little short rod at camp in case there was fish at the other lake that we were camping at. And so he boogied, went over, went down the steep face with his, with his little mini spikes on his boots because it was steep. It's almost dark by this point. Runs down, grabs the pole, runs back up, puts a treble hook on it, and proceeds to cast for this thing. It might have been like 20 or 30 casts, maybe, but he hooked it and brought it to shore. And it was about as far as he could cast. A couple of times he casted right past it, like right over it, and the lure just kind of hopped over it. But when he brought it to shore, he hooked it in the lip.
Flossed a deer.
He didn't even foul hook it.
Flossed a deer, man.
Yeah. But that was a crazy one. But thankfully they float, at least for a while. But yeah, I'd be nervous though, like waiting for it to kind of drift to one edge that's what I would have done. I would not have gone swimming in that icy cold water without a life jacket. Ain't no way, no how. I would have taken a picture of it and said, sorry, I would have notched a deer tag, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out there and risk my life for a little deer.
People don't have the foresight to know or they're inexperienced.
Yeah.
Cold water, you cannot swim in it
Yeah, well,
without the proper
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah.
Some people,
I mean, if you
they
had
were
good,
saying that they could and that was with Ryan and his daughter.
Okay.
And Ryan was saying I could do it, but his daughter swims in the cold water in Montana all the time. So she was saying I would do it. Yeah, no problem.
I'm not going to let her, but
No, absolutely not. But
so not having been there,
yeah,
my
it was freezing cold water.
oh, I know it is
freezing cold.
But if you wait until midday, when you've got sun, if you have good weather and sun, which
On
you
the
guys did on
surface,
that
yeah.
trip on the surface,
Yeah.
then at least when you get out,
You'll warm up.
you'll warm
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, that's if I make it back to shore.
Yeah, well,
Which
that's
I
where
would not.
you soak down in that water. You let yourself acclimate. You push off from shore far enough. You're in the cold water. You let yourself acclimate and see how much you can move. See how much energy you have.
Yeah.
Like you do it very carefully.
I would have probably tied paracord around my belt
Yeah.
and then taken a couple
Here,
of my stuff sacks.
Just tie the fishing pole.
Take a couple of my stuff sacks, inflate them with a bunch of air in them, and then use those as like floaty buoys,
Yeah,
and
dude.
then try to kick out
The water wings or
Yeah,
whatever they're called.
exactly.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
Hey, that new duffel bag from IA looks
Yeah.
pretty good there.
It does.
Inflate that thing up.
I went down their rabbit hole after we talked last time.
Did you?
Yeah.
My boss needs a
I see
bag
one in
for
my
that-
future.
for that sheep hunt. So I told him, I said, well, you need to figure out what works for you, because I like initial ascent packs. They fit Mo and I well. Different people like different things. So I told him, I said, for carrying extreme weight, the only two that I've had that I've really liked in that department is my Barney's pack and my initial ascent pack. So I told him, I said, you got to try both of mine, put 120 pounds in each one, 2 sandbags in each one, and then, do some treadmill time, do some stair stepper time. And
Just
then
word around for a week.
Yeah, just test them out, see how you like it with extreme weight, because that's heavy is heavy once you get over 90 pounds, and how things settle. And if you can get a pack to kind of stay on your hips at 100 or even 90 pounds, it fits you. Trying this whole trying to pack on with 40 pounds and walk around for a mile around your neighborhood, that ain't no test. That ain't gonna tell you nothing. But so we'll see. But he's talking about wanting an initial ascent, so that's likely the route that we're gonna go. Because another thing too is it's a lot narrower than a Barney's pack is, so it's easier to kind of maneuver your way through some brush. With
You have a little more flexibility.
Yeah.
Because they seem to be taller.
They
like
are.
that volume is not width. It's,
Exactly.
It's a lot more height.
Exactly. Which the width thing is great on the Barney's pack for sticking moose quarters in the bag. I don't think you could fit moose quarters in the initial ascent bag itself.
Like you put them down in the main bag.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not like a load
No.
shelf thing.
The Barney's pack doesn't have a load shelf.
I could take it or leave it on a load shelf. I know some people
Yeah.
get really up in arms about it.
Yeah, I've sheep hunted more with a Barney's pack than with the initial ascent, actually. Matter of fact, I have not sheep hunted with the initial ascent pack.
Wow.
Nope. Because I got one in 23. Then I went on that alpine deer hunt. I've done a bunch of other mountain hunts with it. I've done bear hunts with it. I've put a 10-foot brown bear hide in that 8K bag. But I have not gone sheep hunting with it. That's going to change this fall,
Yeah.
because that's what I'm taking. But yeah, I drew that caribou tag. I got some text messages about that.
Is it pretty limited? Enough.
It's more limited than I realized it was. I didn't realize that it was that difficult to get. Just from the number of people that I had heard of getting it before, I don't even think I've put in for it but once or twice. I don't think this is my first year ever putting in for it, but I think the draw percentage is around that 8% mark. So it's definitely a lot higher than most sheep tags are, for sure. But it's not super common to get it. I looked up a lot of people that I know want it, and that said that they were going to put in for it, and none of them got it. I don't personally know anybody else who did, but I know a lot of folks who have in the past. Like a good number of people have gotten it, but that one's unique because there's actually the chance to shoot a really nice caribou in there. You know what? I lied. I do know somebody else that got it this year.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't live in Fairbanks, though, because I was talking to him about it. I sent him a message, but yeah, that's there's a reasonable chance to shoot something above average in there if you're patient and if you.
Yeah, those are low odds. I hadn't realized. I mean, they're not stupid.
Is it
stupid?
Is
low,
it around 8%?
It's 1%.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
1%?
Which
You gotta be kidding.
which one?
Yeah.
1.06%. 11 tags. So there's.
No, that cannot be
Is
right.
that-
Would that mean
No.
is it 1,000 or 10,000
No, that's the
applicants?
non-resident one.
Okay.
I think it's that one.
So 0.95%
Oh, even better. Yeah.
with 128
Given
tags.
how many? It doesn't say how many applied.
It
though.
doesn't on this on my
Good
on my phone. If I
night.
did on the computer, it might. But
I'm shocked.
which one's the?
0.95%.
Is that another non-res maybe? Because the same.
The code would be different, wouldn't it?
It's a different code.
Well, no, it
Yeah,
wouldn't.
see, something's off about that. That's kind of weird. I didn't know that there was more than one in there.
I mean, I can go to ADF and G.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, there's a guy locally that I know of that shot like a 450-inch caribou in there.
What's booked for a caribou? I don't have a...
Well, so from what I understand, and I'm not big on the whole inches judging thing. Like I really don't know. Like for instance, moose, I'm completely blind on it. Like when someone says, "Oh, I shot a bull moose and it was this many scoring inches," 200 and something. Like I really have no frame of reference
For a moose,
what that is.
outside of legality,
Zero.
like actual
The only
trophy measurement.
Right. The only measurements I know is how wide is it and how many brow tines. That's it.
Yep.
But with a caribou, I know that 400 inches is a big one.
Yeah.
400 is a real giant caribou. So from what I've picked up on, it seems like a 400-inch caribou would be like a 65 or 70-inch moose, would be like a 40-inch ram, something, or like a 9.5 or 10-foot bear. So it's that big benchmark. That if you're really trophy hunting, you want something 400 inches or better, right? So that there was a guy that shot one that was 450 inches. And a matter of fact, I'm almost positive that you have seen this caribou, Nate, at one point, and I'll show you a picture of it. This one was shot quite a few years ago, though. It's been a while. Let's see here.
Does it hang behind my head every day at work?
It used to.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, we haven't taken anything down since I've been there, so I may have not seen it.
That one.
It doesn't look real.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
No, it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing too, so look at the body. Look at the body on that thing.
Like the darkness of the fur, or just the size?
The size of it.
Yeah. They weren't like the one I shot. Like I didn't know what to expect really. I mean, definitely bigger than the biggest whitetail I've ever seen, of course. But I expected it to be bigger. That looks massive, like almost elk territory type.
Yeah. Well, and so that's what the guy was saying about it. He said that it wasn't quite elk sized body wise, but he said it was closer to elk than he expected it to be. And this guy has also shot caribou, like in the Brooks and other places in the state, and he said this seemed like it was significantly larger bodied than those caribou were. And I've heard that now from more than one place, because now that I actually drew the tag, I'm kind of
rabbit hole,
throwing strings out, and I'm not looking for anybody's specific spot. Not that there is a specific caribou spot. It doesn't exist.
With these limited tags, I mean, what would be the point of gatekeeping? I've thought of that too, but how are you going to get it again? You might as well help somebody out.
Maybe because a lot of folks still put in for it.
It's random as well,
and you have the chance to actually shoot a trophy-sized animal. Mm-hmm. Also, seems like a lot of people that I know of that have seen giant caribou in that unit, they weren't there caribou hunting. So asking them where they saw giant caribou is like asking them where they were hunting something else.
Burning the same spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Interesting.
So there are certain questions that I'm not even going to ask. It's just etiquette, and I'm not going to put somebody in that position. Yeah. But I have been asking people that drew the caribou tag and went in there just to shoot a caribou, which is what I'm doing. I'm not...
Seems up and up. Like,
not interested in turning it into, because at this point, I may end up going in there alone. Like there's one other plan that may come to fruition, but if it's just me, I'm not going in there to shoot more than one thing, unless it's the last day and I don't have time to be in there anymore, and I see something else, then I'll shoot something else. But otherwise, I'm looking to shoot a nice caribou.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I'm going to take that 25-06.
That was I was hoping that would be the.
Yeah.
You think you're going to try to shoot those HBCs in there?
I'm going to try those first. Yeah. So I got those 107 grain HBCs, the hammer bullets, coming that I'll try. And those, they should work as long as I don't have any magazine length issues in that rifle. So we'll see, because there's some specifics about loading that particular bullet. There's only 2 bands on it. So seating, it has to be within a certain amount. So we'll see. But as long as it'll,
Just trim the brass more.
yeah. Well, if I actually improve it and then trim the neck down a few thousand, I could back it in there a little bit.
Yeah, how low do those bullets jump then?
I don't know.
200 thou.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we'll see. I'm hoping that those will work. I think because Steve and I were talking about that. He thinks that they'll be cooking along pretty quick with the right powder. So if those will load fine and fit in the magazine, and I'm not jumping crimp when I shoot, because that's a pretty light gun too. But there's not a ton of recoil either, and I'm not putting a brake on it. So
It's not threaded, right?
it is threaded.
It is.
Yeah, it is threaded. You can't even tell with the thread cap on there.
You showed me last
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's done very well.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I,
gun.
I didn't even realize it was threaded until I looked at it closer when I even first got the gun. But as long as that 107 grain shoots well and the accuracy is good and there's nothing funky with the loading, then I'll shoot those. But if not, then I've got a bunch of the 120 grain HHTs coming too. Bit heavier, a little slower velocity, but still going to be plenty.
What powders would you be starting out with for the 107?
I think I'm going to start with that Stayball HD. I think is what we had looked at before.
Was it? I can't remember. We had
'cause
looked at a bunch of stuff.
we were going to look at loading some of that last fall, and then ended up not doing it. But I bought a bit of Stayball HD, and I can still find that at Three Bears frequently. I don't know. Have you guys had much HD come through?
1 or 2 pounds.
I haven't looked much lately for powders anywhere. I just haven't been in the mood lately.
Dude,
this
I gremlin
winter.
all over town all the time.
Yeah, I just
Three Bears selection has been.
I
great.
haven't been around to much of the sporting goods shops in town much all winter. I just haven't. I've been too busy.
The name lately seems like if you're willing to pay for it. Like
Really?
I think certain places have had more stock recently, but
Yeah.
I'm so stingy. Like
Yeah.
doing
What's
what I
that
do, I'm not buying stuff.
Place on Badger Diamond
Oh.
Spear. Have you been there?
Yeah, I haven't even been in
Like
that
right by
shop.
that quarry right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I have not
the big
stepped foot in
plywood
there.
building.
Yeah,
I've been in
I've
there
driven
once or
past it.
twice.
I haven't been in there either.
They had, back when you couldn't get them anywhere, they had large rifle Magnum primers for $30 for 100.
Yikes!
But they had them.
That's why they had them.
yeah,
Well, they said
had
that
plenty of
was
them, too.
that was based on their supplier price.
Why I do know like
It was Remington 9.5s. Is that I think that's the size.
yeah, but those are
But that's
like
all they could.
$7.99 retail.
That's
right
all
now
they
for
could.
100.
Now, this was a couple years ago when you couldn't find them anywhere.
Was it manufacturer price or distributor? Because that's two different. I mean, it could be.
I don't know.
'Cause
They said
heard
that was
of-
based upon the price that they had to pay for them. They said, we think it's ridiculous too, but nobody else has them, and we do because
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of gold medal matches like large magnums being, $14, $15 a 100, like so 150.
which
for a
I
break,
would pay for them, but
which was
$30 for Remingtons is.
So
I got some Remingtons during COVID, and I used them. But
I think I may have bought a couple
I didn't
too,
have
but-
any issues, but I just got 1,000 Federals. So
Federal gold medal match
So
just
I'm
sounds
fine.
nicer.
yeah, I never shot the large magnums. So you're doing the large magnums in the 25-06?
I don't think so. I think those are just
Not
standards.
necessary.
Yeah, not necessary.
You could.
but I have wondered what the difference would be. I'm curious in that.
All I'm told is start a little lower, right?
Might be worth
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah. I don't know because here's the thing too is fill capacity, and different guys talk about how much more or less important is fill capacity for different cases.
I'm in the Fuller camp. I think
Yeah,
everything
and
I've
that's-
searched and talked
Yeah.
to, like, because as that cartridge is laying
Right.
sideways,
Yep.
if you have a void in top, you have
Exactly.
some consistency issues. Or
So-
what's there'll be a second explosion in a way. There's a term for it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but no bueno.
So on that note, I had an issue with inconsistency with a different rifle, which I no longer have. I'm not even going to say what it was. But I used a faster burning powder than was necessary because it was what I could find during COVID.
Right.
And it resulted in some shaky sounds when you would shake the case.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like a little bit, like you could hear it, like salt and pepper shaker. And it wasn't bad. Like I got, some input from some people and they said, yeah, it'll probably be fine, but just know this could happen. And it did, and it blew a couple of primers on me. And, 95% of the time it was fine. But I blew 2 primers in one setting, just checking 0 on the gun before a hunt.
But 95% of the time, it worked every time.
And so I switched rifles. I had brought 2 rifles, and I said, you know what? I'm not messing with this. So I switched, and I shot a different gun that year on that hunt. But 60% of the time, it works every time. But so I do think, and this is something else too, I've heard that the larger cartridge that you're using, the more important fill capacity is. I don't know if that has any legitimacy at all, but that's what I've heard. So like with, 375 stuff, I've always just kind of taken that as, well, I better make sure that I'm using a powder that gets me relatively high.
Dust it off. And
exactly.
You got to make sure that
call that my compression load.
that reloading book has a little C next to it, and then you're good.
Yeah.
The compressed load,
Yeah.
Yeah. But with that 25, I think that Stayball HD is probably where I'm going to start.
So in the same vein of like 4031 shortcut, maybe.
Yeah.
You're not looking at maybe H1000, not quite.
I don't think quite H1000.
I don't remember.
So.
We'd kind of picked out the powders we thought would work best at one point, and I haven't looked for a while.
Ramshot Grand, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I know was.
Yeah, maybe.
I think Ramshot was in there. Yeah.
Grand or Hunt, maybe. Or Hunt, was it
The
Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ramshot Hunter. I think I have some at the house.
But at the time, like, I couldn't get any, and this was again last year when I was buying powders for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was getting a few things for this particular gun to load up for. I didn't even have all the bullets yet, but now we're here, and now I have this tag and a couple other things that I'm going to do this year that I'm going to carry that gun for. Like, in all reality, I'm probably going to carry that gun on every hunt after spring bear's over. Because I'm taking my boss sheep hunting, so I'm going to carry it there. So we have a backup gun to shoot a sheep with if something happens to his gun. And grizzly bears are open in that unit where we're going. So we need to have a second rifle for that if he wants to shoot a bear. Or if I want to shoot a bear or a wolf, whatever.
I might have to get away and be a packer if you'll have me.
Or you just get a phone call.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if we're going to have service there or not.
Some places you do.
Yeah, I remember
I know a spot
but
or two.
We're not
you
talking
can
about
get
going to
service.
that spot, though.
Oh, aren't you not?
No.
You're talking about
hang on, don't say anything.
I won't.
Not that we shouldn't, because other people have on other things, but...
While you're looking that up, what rifles he planning on taking? Do you have any idea?
So he has... Yes, I do. So remember we came in the store and he bought a scope?
Yeah.
Last fall, I think it was. So he's taken that one. So he won it. He's one of these lucky people, okay? He won this rifle like 10 years ago at a company event for one of our distributors that had a giveaway going on. So it's a stainless Remington 700 with a synthetic stock. Mm-hmm. You buy it off the shelf now, if they were even being made, and it would be like a $700 gun at the time. But it shoots fine. It's just a factory 700.
7 mag, 270, what?
300 Win Mag.
300 Win Mag? Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't have a break. It's not threaded. But he put that VX5 on there, the 3-15, and tally rings. I shot it when we put that scope on it because he didn't have time. But I wanted to shoot it, and I said, let me go get this thing zeroed. And I tried like 4 different kinds of factory ammo. And now that he's drawn this hunt, I think
I'm gonna work him up a load.
I'm gonna have to try to work him up a load for something else. But it shot 180 grain TTSXs really well for what it is. It shoots those just fine.
What would be the hammer equivalent like that you would want to do? Like
either the 168 HHT or the 181 Hammer Hunter.
168 HHT is where it's at.
It's a laser.
That'd be quick out of that Win Mag.
Laser, and it'll stabilize out to a 1 in 11 twist barrel too. So that's the bullet.
Should be a 10, right?
I think it is a 10. Yeah. So that 168 HHT is the one that Hammer specifically says if you have a 30 caliber Tikka, like a 300 Win Mag or 30-06, this is the bullet that you need to shoot, because most of the other HHTs any heavier than 168 won't actually stabilize in a 1 in 11. because Tikka's until recently were
1 in 11 and a
1-11s.
quarter. Like
I think they were 1 in 11 even. Because I have a 300 Win Mag Tikka, and
Yeah,
it's 1 in
my
11.
300 short is a 1 in 11. That's what I shoot. Is that,
Yeah.
and it's a phenomenal shooting bullet.
So, just briefly here, just so Mo. So, over here. On this side.
Zoom out a little bit. Oh, okay.
Over here. So, some technical
Oh, okay.
things involved.
Okay.
But there's a July trip in there, too, that we're going to have to go experiment. Just go see. I know it has been done, and I know people, actually, you and I both know people that have done it. I just didn't know it until about 2 days ago that they'd actually done it in the past. But anyway, yeah.
I'd have a hard time not going the area I know.
I know. And that's what I told him. I said, look, if option 1 doesn't work, then I have option 2, and there's sheep there too.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Time permitting, I mean.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing is, we're
He's the
talking
boss.
we're talking about a company meeting here because if he's going to be gone, I'm going to be gone. The company's shutting down for a little while, which is big deal. And he turns 50 this year, and he's a plenty strong, plenty capable person. I've had clients that I wish were in as good a shape as he's going to be going into this sheep hunt. And he texted me a picture, I think, on Saturday, or a video on Saturday this last weekend after he found out that he drew it.
Just Cam Haynesing it up.
The day after. And he's got his weighted vest on.
Yeah, dude.
He's in his garage with his stair stepper that's like this high off the floor. And he's got a TV in there, and he's got a Billy Moles sheep hunting video on the TV. And he's just
getting after
stair stepping. I was like, yep, there we go.
If that's what not to say like he wouldn't, but like if that's what it takes for some people, like to get in shape or, better, like what a motivator, dude. That's awesome.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's, excuse me, our job is not sedentary. Like, we're very active, very, physically involved in a lot of things. And it's not you're not going to get fat doing what we do for a living. But he's very motivated to make this his big thing because for as long as I think I have worked there, which is a long time now, we've always talked about, like, if you were ever going to put in for a sheep tag to go sheep hunting, you should put in for there because he spent a lot of time in that area growing up and as a teenager for a multitude of reasons. But, back in high school and college days, he would go on these mountaineering camping trips and snow camping and ski touring, and he was way more into that stuff recreationally than I ever would be. To me, if there's not a gun on my back and the potential to maybe shoot something, I don't even want to go. Like, I would rather just, shoot my bow in the front yard and barbecue or something. I just
sit around in a lawn chair.
Exactly.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, just read a book about it. I'd rather do that than just go just to go. But he's familiar with the process. He's very familiar with technical terrain. We were looking at a few areas, and I said, well, I know there's sheep here. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Like getting the ropes out type almost.
Yeah. And he's like, no, I know what that would entail. Like, he spelled out exactly what it was. And I thought, okay, well, I got nothing to worry about. He knows exactly the drill. So that's a good thing. He's not going to be one of those guys that's, well, we can go up here and march across this glacier. And glacier stuff in there can be, yes, it can be done, but it can also get you killed. But yeah, so I think that'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, very much so. And now it's it's his big excuse to buy a pack and buy a few.
He's going to be
things.
spending a lot of money by the time he gets on that hunt. Huh?
Not a ton. He does enough stuff that he's going to be ready on a lot of
and there's a lot of stuff he won't need because you have.
And I'll have a lot of other stuff too. Like, he's not going to have to go out and buy a spot and scope, and he doesn't have to go out and buy a rifle.
He won't have to go out and buy a tripod.
Exactly.
Between the three of us, there's probably 24 tripods.
Well, I have to buy a new one this year. So,
what's on the docket?
I think I'm leaning towards an Asiac.
Same one you got?
So, are you looking towards the same one I got, or that setup I told you about?
Towards the other one
the other
with the center pole.
So,
I think it's the Backcountry Light.
I have the Asiac, the new, I think it's the newest one they have that has just the ball head and archer clamp
with the lever, right?
Yeah, and so
I've
I
been
got
looking at
that, and I bought the Tricer LP,
Mm-hmm.
which is like a 5.4 ounce pan head. That way I can ARCA on the ball with my rifle if I need to. Ideally I won't be needing the tripod, but if I need to, it's an option. And then, I'm under 2 pounds total, I think. I know I'm under 2 pounds total for the tripod and the head. I'm really light. But the other option, because right as I ordered that setup, Wiser Precision came out with the Ridge Ranger,
I think that
something like that. Have you seen that?
Ridge something.
the different head.
It's a ball pan head.
How?
So the way it works, it's
Yeah,
like 300
that's what I
bucks.
asked,
It's
too.
it's lighter. First of all, it's
Yeah.
like 4 ounces. Every ounce counts, right?
So how many dollars per ounce are we talking here?
a lot.
Yeah,
A lot. It's like $300.
75 bucks an ounce, something like that. Yeah. Still cheaper than gold, right? Anyway,
Is that going to be our justification
Right.
from now
Well,
on?
at this point, just start picking through change drawers for dimes and nickels, man.
Yeah.
Like,
The Ridge Warden.
the Ridge Warden, that's right. So the way it works is it's got a traditional pan base, but instead of just being a up and down pan for the head, because panning on a ball sucks. I don't think.
I refuse to glass on the ball. I can't
it's
do it.
dumb. I see guys video and like, well, this spotter, I don't like it because I have to recenter, and I'm like, well, if you just had a good pan head, that wouldn't be a
Yeah.
problem.
Like,
Yeah. Anyhow, so and the ball's nice actually to have below it because you can actually swing over and get an angle and then pan. Anyway, with my setup, but what I think I would have done if it was available was that Backcountry Light, which is it's got a center piece and it's just a threaded top that you put your head on, and that Ridge Warden is a ball pan. It's got a traditional pan base and it's got a ball, but that ball has 2 dimples in the side of it with like bearings that like pop in.
so you can lock it.
So, well, it keeps it locked as a tilt. Okay. When you have like a spotter on it, and you know when you're using it, it just goes up and down. But when you put a rifle in it and you have that weight in it, it'll actually pop out of those dimples and work just like a ball.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's Wiser Precision, 100% made in the USA. Everything that Wiser makes is state of the art. It's $300.
So have you looked at the Nighthawk one? That's just the pan head.
Yes. The Wiser Nighthawk is also like $300,
Yeah, it's 300 and it's also 4.9.
and that's a pan head more like the Tricer
Tenth of an ounce, baby.
LP. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter than the Tricer LP, but it's more money, although it's made in the USA, and it handles heavier weight better than the LP
That's
does.
that one. That's the pan head.
Yeah. So it's very similar to the Tricer LP.
Which the Tricer LP has that like micro pan feature. Have you used that? Like, what's your opinion on that? Is that the one that like
The micropan?
It's like a little dial, and it's very
No.
It's a very fine.
It doesn't have that.
Might be a different
So the
head, though.
Tricer LP is their super, super light one. I think it's one of their heavier ones that has that.
Okay.
Which is still light for what it
Like
is.
if
But
you're
for
putting
me,
a BTX on it, like a
yeah. Now, so if you're going to put a BTX on a super light pan head, I would get that Wiser.
Yeah.
Like I think it'll handle it. I haven't done it, but I was watching like Gearful and stuff. He did some great tripod head reviews, including that Tricer LP and that Wiser Nighthawk, which I've looked at. But I like the option of having both a ball and a pan head availability, which is why the Ridge Warden I think looks great. And that's this problem. Nobody else has done that yet.
So what do you think of the Asiac pan head then? Do you not like it?
It's heavy.
How heavy? Because it's half the price. It's 6.4 ounces. It's 2.5 ounces more. dude.
Which one is that? Is that new then?
I don't know.
I don't
just
think if
looked
it's
at
only 6 ounces, I don't think they had that then when I
6.4
you would have bought that
ounces.
one.
I may have if it's half the price. Now the Tricer LP was the Tricer LP
It's not made in the U.S., but
no, the Tricer's not either. The
for
Vantage
$150 versus
the Vantage,
300.
yeah, I think that Vantage is new. Yeah, that they didn't have
'Cause
that.
that looks like probably
Now
what
the
I'm
Tricer
gonna go
LP is
with.
about the same price. But it's a traditional pan head.
Yeah, but why wouldn't I just buy this with the tripod?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you're going to go, if I was going to buy the pan head, I would. So the other thing that the Tricer LP has, and this looks like it has too, is it has, because it's made to thread on, but it has, the base has or the slots or the angle cut on it, so it fits into an ARCA without needing the thread adapter. So I can pop it right into my clamp on my Asiac.
Does the Vantage not have that?
I don't know. It looks like it might actually.
Yeah, I think it
Which, I
does.
mean, they basically copied Tricer there, but why wouldn't you?
Made in the same factory.
Now, is
No,
that a
they look
twist?
significantly different.
That's not a twist release, though. That's not a handle operation. See what I mean there?
Yeah,
It's got a like a
Yeah.
set screw.
My
or
LP
a lever.
I don't believe my LP is either though.
Because doesn't that one collapse, like you twist and it closes up? Yeah. I haven't handled one enough. When I was working at Shields, we had those, and I didn't play with it enough to like it or not like it.
That's interesting because does the Tricer one have do any of the Tricer ones have the handle twist to articulate up and down?
I think some of them do, but
because I much prefer that than having two different knobs.
You're not
going to
get
right, up, down.
So
Absolutely.
I don't care about weight.
Well,
if it's 5 ounces more, I don't care.
And for a ball head, I don't like the knobs for a ball head.
5 ounces
I'm a
is
lever guy.
5 ounces is a third of a pound almost.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
a lot of weight.
Doesn't matter to me.
But
Cut my toothbrush at that point.
Exactly.
when you're cutting,
Dude, leave the toothbrush at home. Use your finger.
anyway,
I can't do that.
About 5 days.
to me,
in,
when I'm
dude wipe
spending this
showers.
money, for weight,
Yeah.
Also, the Tricer, it is a twist up and down.
That's the LP.
The LP,
Well, if you're buying Dyneema,
That's
like,
not the one that you have, though, is it?
the LP is the one I have.
So that handle twists to the left to unlock it, and it goes up, down, left, right?
No, it's so most of all the ultralight pan
to
heads,
collapse the handle itself for packability, right?
No, you can't
No.
collapse the hand. No, it's a twist so it's twist for up and
lock
down. Left and right is adjustable with a knob.
So left and right, there's
a little knob on the side,
okay.
little lever that tightens
But
Oh,
but you loosen the handle
for up and
for
down.
up and down.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah.
That's still half better.
I have a tripod that you loosen the handle for up and down, and then
Yeah.
the knob. I don't use it.
I don't like that. Man, that sucks.
See, you got to use one though. It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I like it better. You have way more precision in setting it up and keeping it where you want it.
Well, then maybe I'll just get that ASIAC Vantage then. It all comes from the same place.
I don't think, the Vantage, so the knob on the side of the Vantage might not be the handle.
tension?
It might be tension. It looks like a tension knob. It's so big.
Okay.
So it's what you would use to actually lock it down.
I'll look it up and watch some videos about it later.
Yeah, the Vantage is new from when I ordered it, but
Interesting. But anyway, so that's about the only thing that I really think that I want to buy new necessarily this year. There's other stuff that I should say that that's the only thing that I really need to upgrade in my kit. Want? Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Like I want several different things, but need? I mean, realistically, I could just take the stupid tripod that I've been taking and just carry the weight, but I don't want to. I think I can get down pretty light, but there are other things that I'm going to stay heavy with. Like I'm carrying a heavy tent because I'm
and that's
tired of wind problems.
There's places you compromise weight, and there's other places where it's not worth.
It's what I said to Kai when he looked at me like, because what was I saying? Because I wasn't carrying any down.
Yeah.
And he said, "But you care so much about weight." I said, "Yeah, because I'm carrying other heavy stuff."
Yeah.
Like
I'm sacrificing in this area because I want to be
and
able
that's
to have
the
what I
place
want
I'm going
in
to
the other
sacrifice it.
area.
I'm going to buy that exact same tent he's going to carry because
Yeah.
I tried a lighter weight, well, and in some ways fancier tent, but
Slept like this for how many nights?
you don't sleep when you're doing that. That's the thing.
Upside down turtle.
And then after you've done that for a night, when it does blow, like even the smallest amount of wind, you wake up and you sit there going, "Please don't start to collapse."
Have you been like tent hunting since then?
Since then?
Because that was this past fall.
Off and on, he has. Yeah. He's
Since
sent
that?
me he's sent me a few links. Like
PTSD.
yeah.
Just every time the
little
wind blows, like your tent ruffles, and you're just like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah. I think I'm going to carry my Hilleberg Solo.
Yeah.
It's heavy
I'm
for
gonna
a
get
one
one,
man.
but it's 5
Heavy.
pounds.
But
Bomb-proof.
80-mile-an-hour wind, and I'm still going to be on the mountain.
The biggest thing, honestly, the Hilleberg Solo. What bothers me about it is
The space.
the space.
That's what bothers me.
I had a 3-man
Mm-hmm.
for 3 pounds, which was
Mm-hmm.
nice, but it just can't handle the crazy winds when you get up there.
Tents bother me because
Like I will use that tent. I think I'm going to use the crap out of that tent for other stuff.
Oh yeah.
For summertime stuff, man.
Yeah.
when I don't have to worry about that weather.
It's so nice too because the footprint, although you don't have as much space, it doesn't take nearly as much room to pitch the stupid thing. I mean, it goes up. I mean, you could pitch one of those things on this table.
Yeah, and that's
tiny.
That's the other thing I was looking at the who is it that who makes the Stone Glacier tents?
Slingfin.
Slingfin.
Yep.
Yeah, which I don't know why you'd buy a Stone tent unless you want the name. Just go buy the Slingfin.
Oh, they distribute like the actual.
There are. You go look at the Stone tent is a different color.
Huh.
Yeah. Like of the Slingfin
Which,
models.
to be fair, the Slingfin tents, like
they're
they make
great
some
tents.
serious tents.
They're great tents, but it's the same price. I mean, if you like the blue and the gray over the red and the white, whatever. But Slingfin has way more options available than Stone is selling of the Slingfin. So I guess, whatever. If you get the Stone discount, that's fine.
Yeah.
But Slingfin makes one that's the same weight. It's about 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a 2-man. And that is used by like mountaineering guys, like serious alpinists and mountaineering guys that like 80, 90 mile an hour winds, no problem.
Yeah.
And it's about the same weight as that Solo. So I've considered something like that. But once again, you get to that footprint thing.
Yeah.
Like that footprint thing. And in the area I went last year wasn't an issue.
Right.
But it certainly can become one quickly in a lot of places.
Right. And it's just so fast because looking for a spot, like when you get to an
and
area
that Solo
that you
sets up
want
incredibly
to camp,
quickly too.
and you're, it's end of the day, or you're looking to just set up and then dump a bunch of your pack and then go up and then glass, then come back down and go to camp. Like, you're not spending a bunch of time creating a flat spot or looking for a flat spot. Like, if I can stand in it and have room on either side of my feet and it's flat, and then spread my feet apart as wide as I can and it's flat, that's as much room as I need to pitch that Solo, and I'll sleep there just fine. With a 2-man, it's just a different story. But before that, I always carried that 2-man MSR tent, and it was great. Like, I had that thing in winds that I thought it was going to tear apart. I really did, and it never gave me a problem. But it moved a lot more than that Solo does, like a lot more. And I would end up putting a trekking pole under each side of the vestibule, because it has the 2 X poles that go over either side of the 4 corners, and then it has that 1 pole across the top. It's very, very standardized 2-man dome tent. And so on either end of that top cross pole, I would wedge a trekking pole up underneath of it just to give it a little more tension, and that makes a big difference in the wind. The Solo, I've not had an issue at all. That thing is stout. A lot of guy lines, a lot of really good spots where the guy lines are. Like, Hilleberg builds a serious
the way
tent.
It's designed, it goes up. You don't have to take the fly off to set it
It all
up.
goes up
it's
in
all
one piece.
You can just, it's a separate fly and nest, but you
it all
can
stays
literally,
clipped in.
it all stays together. You just, it
might have
goes
to
up
look
in,
in.
5 minutes? Once you get used to it.
Oh, yeah, less than that. Super
Staked
fast.
out.
Yeah.
Like, unrolled bowls, staked out, 5 minutes. And what I did on, because I slept, I don't know how many nights I've gotten one, a dozen.
At least. Yeah.
And what I was doing was setting my tarp up like halfway over the tent and then out in front. So there's your space.
Yeah.
It's a few extra minutes, and if you have time to do it,
Right.
then there's your space. Gets you out of the wind, gets you out of the rain, gives you a place to stick your bag.
It's got
so
like
you have
an awning, basically. at that
yeah,
point.
and then you can cook out of the weather, and
Yeah. That was a nice feature. Just pitching a tarp over it.
That's why I went with the Argali though. The like the 4-person.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, you're going by yourself. I need a 4-person." Well,
Because I can
2 is
bring the
1,
kitchen
1 is
sink.
none.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
dude, tents they drive me nuts.
Yeah.
But same thing. Like, I took not a type hunting backpack type tent before, and you got to put the rain fly on.
Yeah.
It made me like, is there such thing as a lazy backpack hunter? Like, I didn't want to move from a spot because I took the effort to set up the tent.
Yeah.
And that hindered the hunt.
Yeah.
So that Argali 4-person, but the footprint is much
Yeah.
larger. So you need
Absolutely.
a good and as flat as you can be.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want what you're sleeping on. So
That brings up a very interesting point. I have watched an enormous amount of YouTube hunting videos in the last week. For some reason, like, I haven't watched
it's that time of year.
hardly any movies.
I've exhausted
or hardly
YouTube.
any shows. I have been on YouTube a ton. And I know there's some guys out there, I can't stand watching hunting videos on YouTube. That's fine. It's not your thing, whatever. It's mine seasonally. And I keep noticing that Alaska hunting videos, probably at least 60% of the videos that I have watched lately, sheep hunters are in non-freestanding teepee style tents. And I mean, we're talking about going back at least 10 years, some of these videos. A lot of the Seek Outside and the Kafaru tent.
That Seek Outside tent's been around for a good minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, and the Kafaru one, I think, has been out for quite a while, too. I forget what that one's called, but the Seek Outside had...
Cimarron or...
Yeah, the Cimarron. Is the Kafaru one the Sawtooth? Is that right?
Is it
I don't remember.
Kafaru or the Kuyu?
No, Kuyu doesn't have a Sawtooth.
No, the Kuyu's like the Mountain Star or something.
Yeah,
Mountain Star is
Mountain
Kuyu.
Star, Storm Star. That's the two Kuyu ones. But yeah, anyway, I kept noticing that. But as I noticed it, I kept really paying attention then. Like, all right, we're at our camping spot for the night. We're going to glass here. And I'm looking at it like, yeah, how far did you have to walk to find that spot on that ridge? And one of them actually said it in the video, like, well, I want to camp right here, but there's not a spot to pitch the tent. And he was on a pretty narrow ridge. And wind was calm. He said, weather forecast is calm for the next couple of days. I know I can camp up here. I'm not worried about the wind, but I can't find a big enough spot to pitch my tent. And I thought, there it is. Finally somebody said it in a video. And I just, that's always in the back of your mind. Like, now, if you're hunting from the bottom up, phenomenal. Beautiful idea. But if you're going to be up high for any amount of time, you need to go into that trek with that in mind. Like, can I pitch this thing anywhere up here? And that solo tent, you can pitch it in a lot of places that, I mean, you can roll over to one side or the other. That might be as big of a flat spot as you can have.
So what I did with that freestanding, now, and once again, freestanding versus a teepee, is with the freestanding, even if it's that 3-man, I still only have to have that same amount of space because I can set that thing up over to where I'm sleeping.
Right. Problem is, if you angle it uphill and then you get a draft downwind, ask me why.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not talking crazy angles, but
I did
I'm talking
that with my MSR, where I had one side of it kind of pitched up onto the hill, and the wind decided to come down that way that night. It was bad.
So what I did,
Like it just kind of lifted up under you. And just
was I
controlled.
kicked out
because the gusts, it would pick the whole thing up like a parachute, and then it would stop, and then I don't
Just put
understand
some
the
rocks in your
physics of
pocket.
it. I don't understand the physics of it, but it would go up, 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 and pressurize from the inside, and then it would whoom, and then slam down from the top. No, I don't know how that happens, but it happens, and it's scary.
So I kicked out like a 6-inch deep on one side ledge, kicked out a ledge,
Okay.
brought the dirt over, and it wasn't enough for the whole tent, but I was able to put my tent poles and stakes down in that cut that I made with my feet.
Yeah.
I made I'm working on the video I took from that hunt.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a film that I'm going to put on YouTube
saw
at
the
some point.
pre-cut
Yeah,
version.
I sent him the early cut.
Super fancy. A lot of crying, though.
You gotta edit that out, man.
That's part of the story, man.
Yeah, it is.
Gotta be.
good story.
Yeah. Anyhow, so you saw that where I was kicking that out.
I did.
So I put that. It
I
was
also watch you run down the ridge. I laughed so hard.
you know the story there too.
I laughed.
No spoilers, dog.
Oh man.
Anyhow, well, it's just it's foreshadowing. Anyhow, I got on that last Saturday, man. I spent half the day probably messing with that stuff, and I'm gonna spend a lot more time on it. But anyhow,
I thought it was fun to watch.
yeah,
I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it more. I'm gonna narrate it. I'll put it that
Are
way.
you?
Yeah, I'm gonna narrate it. If I narrate it, I can make it a complete film that other people who don't know the story will understand.
I haven't seen a lot of good narrated hunting videos, but I wish you the best.
I got an idea. I think you'll like it.
Good. I've seen a couple really good ones, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of them are just sounds horrible.
Well, usually the audio is
So
terrible.
on this day, I was. It's just a lot of that.
I'm not going to do that. Oh, like No Land for the Timid,
Yes.
where he's like talking as if he's just like watching it and telling you about it, which is actually kind of a cool effect.
Yeah, but that's vintage. This is
Yeah. You could create the vintage effect. Anyhow, all that aside, I had the pulls.
Filter your camera video.
Yeah, right. Or just filter it later, right, with effects. Yeah. AI. No, I'm just kidding. I could use AI to complete the rest of the film I don't have.
You could narrate it for you.
you could AI in a great big sheep.
Yeah. Successful sheep hunt. No, I wouldn't. I would never do that. Side of the tent down in that cut that I kicked out.
Yeah.
And then the other poles were just, so our tent was still at an angle. I don't know if I had any footage of the tent in there of it set up. I didn't because I realized later looking at the footage, I did not want to put that in there. It was way too clear of exactly where I was. You might have been able to tell where I was. But, there was very profiled information. So I didn't include that in the film. But,
and still, if somebody's been there, they're going to recognize it.
But I don't care. If you've stood in the spot and I'm standing, you've got the rights to know about it and look at it and say, I've been there.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to look at it and find it on Google Maps because I gave you that much information. And anyhow, so I set up like that and I was down the hill. But so my problem wasn't wind coming off the top at all.
Yeah.
It was coming from, the south.
Was it coming from the south there?
The wind was coming from the south, yeah.
Oh, really?
And it was, I've talked about it on here before.
Of the way I had it going when I was in there.
Weird. It was crazy in there. It was switching all the time.
Yeah.
Like it would come from the south and then it would come, because I moved my camp for a couple of nights.
Did it switch like from morning to night?
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think even during the day it would switch back and forth. But I noticed something in there with all the formations and stuff. You could tell all the wind is either going north or south because of the direction of all the formations.
Like
and everything.
It's just cut.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I had
a lot of wind over a lot.
So
of time.
it didn't pick up.
Yeah.
It was just collapsing on top of me. And it's the same style tent, but it's bigger.
Right.
It's a 3-man. There's way more surface area. And it's, everything about that tent is built to be ultralight. It's, like I said, it's a 3-man. It's 3 pounds.
Copper spur, right?
Yeah. It's the Copper Spur Limited, which is even lighter weight than the regular Copper Spur.
You've directly contributed to them sitting on my shelves longer. Thank you.
Have I?
No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, it was
I noticed that we don't carry the Limited, but I saw it's like
Limited. It's harder to get.
Yeah.
Just the standard one.
Yeah.
You just walk by a customer and you're like, you don't want that.
Yeah.
So actually, I recommend if you're going to buy a Copper Spur, I do like the tent. I'll use it for anything, but it's something where I think I'll have like substantially bad weather, right? Wintertime type.
Yeah.
Fall weather.
Moose hunting, caribou.
I would use, and anywhere I'm not on top.
Yeah. Deer hunting. Even.
Down south. There,
oh yeah. It's 3 pounds, man. I'm like, yeah. If I was gonna hike up to the Alpine if I was gonna go goat hunting,
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna get that kind of wind.
Yeah.
Or I'll be able to set up I'll be able to set up in a spot. I'll be able to duck down and set up somewhere where it won't be a problem.
That you're not losing too much elevation. Or
Anyhow, so. It was just the regular Copper Spur has more tension points and tie-off points inside of it that this one doesn't, and which they did to make it lighter. I didn't know that. They don't really advertise that. What it doesn't have is it doesn't have the dual zippers that the Copper Spur has on each side, where you can dual zipper open the doors and use your trekking poles. They have a little awning that's I think is incredibly dumb and useless. But
really?
Well, yeah, it's just your door opens up and like.
Well, yeah.
And it comes out like kind of like a vestibule, except that it's literally just an awning. So I guess so from a hunting perspective, it's useless. From a nice sunny day,
eating your mountain house sitting and watching the sunshine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I guess that might be nice.
I've done that with my MSR before. Not like an awning, but the door, because it's that dome style. So I've unzipped one door before, stuck a trekking pole out, flopped the door open, and then pulled that taut, and then attached it to a trekking pole.
Right, but then that kind of works as a windbreak.
That's a windbreak, and then I can
this isn't the wind.
Inside
We're not talking about a windbreak here. We're talking about just 2 zippers that come up close to the same point in this like triangle piece that folds out. You put your trekking poles on.
And it's not a...
No, there's no sides to it at all.
Gotcha.
You're just opening your tent to the elements.
Gotcha.
Yeah, not
and
practical.
to me, I'm like, I guess if
you're using it for shade on a hot day, then sure.
Which that thing's so thin, I don't. I mean, it's something, but
I'd get sunburnt through it.
Anyway, that I've talked a lot about that tent on this podcast.
You're just gonna find Mo over in the camping section with a sign: "Do not buy the Copper Spur."
Well, it makes me think I've had that Argali tent in some decent wind above tree line in Colorado, but nothing. But I didn't sleep well because I was concerned because it was my real first time experience.
How high are the tie-out points on that Argali?
I wish they were a little higher, but I
like
not concerned.
24 inches off the floor.
Oh, it's midway up.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So with that, I bought the carbon pole for it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I stake it out pretty tall because the whole point of it too is I don't like bending over in a tent,
Right.
so I can stand up inside that tent.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm 6'4", so they're midway up it.
That's the other thing that you're going to have to be concerned about. If you do get into the one-man tent freestanding game, look at the length.
Yeah.
The Stone Glacier one person will not work for you. The Stone Glacier one person will not work for me. And I'm only 6'2".
Really?
I know guys that are 6'1", 6'2", and I talked to them about it and before I even bought the Solo, and they said, yep, I got to sleep diagonal on the Stone Glacier one person.
Yeah, I can't have my head, like your head's resting against the
And
fabric
the
and you wake
Hilleberg
up
is
wet.
just a bit longer, and I can sleep right in the middle, right down the middle. 6'4", you'd be pushing it, but you'd probably still pull it off. Yeah, but look at the interior dimensions of it before you buy it, or we'll set mine up and you can lay down on it.
I just have this thing about if I can't put my pants on without gymnastics, I'm good.
You just, when
You
you're
just get
already
good at it.
You get good
Yeah.
at it. You just, you know the move. Yeah.
exactly.
I've done it. I just
Yeah, like I don't want to unzip the door just to get dressed. Yeah, you just
Absolutely not.
go
Yeah.
for the front, lay down and arch your back,
Yep.
wrestle them up. It'll work.
Yeah. Pretend like you're putting on skinny jeans. You got to lay down and wiggle. That's old Chad Prather. That's a Chad. You remember Chad Prather? I think he used to be more popular than he is now, but he used to make those YouTube videos sitting in his pickup truck just telling you his opinion on the latest events.
I thought you were going to say
And it-
pickup foot.
Yeah, this is wow.
very niche social media presence.
Speaking of Kamaru, actually from like 10 minutes ago, I was going to mention this too. They're discontinuing their Lost Parka Puffy line.
News to me.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's the puffy jacket, that tan one that I've got. Mm-hmm. The one that's so popular up here with a bunch of guys.
I just see those stone puffies everywhere. I've never seen the Kafaru one. I might have blinders on, but
Yeah. Well,
or the Kuyu puffies. Like
yeah, well, don't get me started. Anyway, no, so it's a Climashield synthetic jacket and pants, and they have Cordura patches on them. So they have like a big hand pocket section. So they make it in a half zip, which is one I have,
oh, nice.
and they have it in a full zip. I have the half zip because even if the zipper breaks, the bottom half of the jacket is still a jacket.
Yeah.
But the kangaroo pocket on the half zip has Cordura around the whole front of it. So, pack belt, I guess. But to me, it's just nice to have a reinforced puffy jacket.
Yeah.
And then on the forearms, all the way down to the elbows, it's also Cordura. It's tough. And again, synthetic. It's very, very warm. It's not super windproof, but what puffy is, right? What lightweight puffy is. And
Behind the Cordura it is.
yeah. Well, exactly. But, when I put a rain jacket over it, if it's that cold, that's windproof. But they're discontinuing it because they're coming out with some clothing line this year. And they've got a Primaloft Gold jacket that they're putting out that they say will replace it. Big question mark in my mind. Because that,
Oh, maybe they'll just open up the market for peaks.
I don't know, man. Like I am so sold on the idea of a stout synthetic jacket for the mountains. I just am. Like
I'm seriously considering that Peaks puffy.
I'm going to try it. I'll try it. But
Like going to
We'll see.
the down for my
sheep kit.
for my clothing and sticking with the synthetic for the bag
Yeah.
potentially.
See, I'm going to continue to be the opposite for
Yeah.
now. I think I'm going to still bring synthetic puffy jacket and a down bag.
Well, you have a down bag and synthetic jacket. I have a synthetic jacket and a synthetic bag,
Yeah.
but
I have a down bag and no puffy. Haven't needed one yet.
You'll
know when you do.
You'll need
Yeah,
one.
100%.
I'm surprised you didn't bring one. Well, you went up for Caribou in August. Was that
When I
right?
say I don't have a puffy, I have a REI puffy.
So
like
you
it's
have
not
a puffy.
Well,
Yeah.
right, but it's not a and it's
Relax, man. They're all made in the same factory.
no 100%. Yeah.
it's purple.
Well,
Exactly.
lazy. It's green, but like lazy backpack hunter, right? Like I'll sit there and shiver for an hour before I dig a jacket out of a bag. I don't get that to that point yet, because it's like, hey, if we're gonna move, and if there's any chance we move in the next hour, I'm just gonna suck it up.
So my Sitka bag,
Like I was soaked.
I bought it from you guys actually. That Sitka. No, I didn't. I was going to, and then they were
And then you
gone,
ordered it.
and then I ordered
Is
it.
it
That's
the
right.
like Sitka branded, or it's their
the
pattern
Sitka,
in the?
No, it is the Sitka, made by Sitka, Primaloft, 30-degree bag.
Yeah.
Which I run a 30-degree bag because it's synthetic. It's heavy. It's still heavy, even heavier than like a 15-degree down, but it has armholes
Ooh,
And it's a center zip.
and it has the hood. It has an actual hood, not
Not
and
the
it's a
mummy
center
style
zip.
top.
Yeah. And dude, I can unzip it. It's got a hook. I haven't done this with it yet.
oh,
But I can literally wear that thing around camp.
Which is the same thing that the Peaks bags do.
Yeah, basically.
like you can get your feet out and
Yeah.
just kind of dangle
Yeah.
it. Okay, interesting.
I mean, you could go take a dump with your sleeping bag on if you wanted to.
I have a Nemo.
I have not. The weather has not been good enough for me to want to
do that?
to want to leave my tent with my sleeping bag on. And when I mean that, I don't mean cold. Like it's wind and wet, right?
Yeah.
If it was just cold and I was going to glass, I would absolutely use it that way. But
I can't get that picture out of my head.
sleeping bag tail just up over your shoulder.
the tail of that. So
what
you
I
would
was
have
trying
to
to
position
picture
your
it,
like.
I would just probably pull the tail over my shoulder.
Yeah. You go back to bed and you're just like,
It got some inside the bag.
dude. Speaking of things discontinuing or like getting sold,
Oh, man.
did you guys hear that Beretta bought Ruger?
Did I hear that?
What?
That's insane.
I thought I don't want to delve too deep into it, but
Like, how recently did you hear that?
today
Really?
news.
Like,
but I was
the
like,
Beretta.
yeah, I was like, how?
The Ruger.
Google it, but I asked. It was one of the guys I work with, and I was like,
Ruuger. Right?
yeah, I was like, as in those guys, like,
I'm sure Mo's going to figure it
yeah,
out.
I
faster
didn't want to
than I
like. I was like, wonder if you knew anything about it, because I meant to Google. I got really tied up today, and I was like, no way.
will. My goodness, that would be crazy. Yeah, we're about to find out.
Yeah, we'll see here. Oh, speaking of guns, this is something I've been meaning to bring up on this podcast for a long time because I
mentioned
don't
that.
think you know what it is.
Okay.
Did you know that Alaska has a state firearm?
Like government approved, accepted.
It is.
official
Yes,
state
it's
firearm?
an official state firearm.
No, I don't think I knew that.
Interesting.
Can you guess what it is?
Can I ask for a hint? Can I ask a question to get a hint? Just so I know I'm not
Okay.
way out there.
We'll see.
Will it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Is it like a definitive Alaska firearm?
Is it in the name?
What do you mean? Is it in the name?
Like, there's several models of popular firearms that have Alaskan in the name.
Oh.
Is it a
No,
lever
it's
action?
not in the name.
Ooh.
No. Boy, you're asking for a lot of hints, man.
Is it controlled round feed? Nailed it.
Just guess. Okay.
Well, if it's not, that was where my guess was going to be, was some kind of an old lever action.
Alaska's not that old.
Springfield 1903.
Some type of Mauser. I don't know.
Wow.
Model 70.
That was my guess.
Pre-64 Model 70.
Really?
Specifically the
I didn't think
pre-64
it'd be that
Model
new.
70. Dude, Alaska, like the hunting
Yeah.
in Alaska
Sure.
started Pinnell and Tallefson.
Yeah.
Yes, but I was thinking like older, like, frontier, pre-statehood, this,
Oh, it
the
wouldn't
gun that won Alaska.
Yeah.
type thing.
be on that one Alaska.
Any specific chambering or just
Just
the gun itself?
pre-64.
Interesting.
Model 70.
Yeah, 70, yeah.
Man.
I thought that was
Add that to my list of justifications to my wife. Why I need a pre-64 Model 70.
It's not
yeah, I don't
past
remember
that
how
guy,
I
but it's
found
not.
that out, but I think it was around the time we were reading that Pinnell and Tallefson book.
Really?
I've been meaning to bring it up for a long time. But yeah, didn't Pinnell carry?
Well, I know that they both
They both did at
shot
one
them
point. Yeah.
eventually.
Well, one
but
of them.
I would assume that they were pre-64s.
Because it was the 30s, right?
Yeah. Well,
40s.
40s, 50s when they got started. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 50s actually was when it really
But,
got
yeah.
kicking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, stuff like that doesn't usually happen.
But they
with
shot their first one with a
statehood.
30-30.
Yeah.
Well, your 30-30 load.
Yeah,
It wasn't that.
They didn't have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah.
Well, speaking of loads, though, like I don't know if I told either one of you, I ordered some of the
Yeah.
HPCs, the 75 and,
Yep.
75 and a half grain, I think.
For the 22.
Yeah. But still one piece shy of putting that gun together. I don't
So
know who
close.
I don't know who these people know, or they were just so far ahead of the game that order these actions, because like lead times being what they are, like dude,
Yeah.
I know what they said, and it's not even. I mean, it's close. Like I'm like
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks out, but
Yeah.
I'm just itching to put it together, and I have every like brass component, like everything.
That's
And
kinda
just
warm up enough
sitting
to
there. I'm
shoot.
staring at it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
kind of
so-
painful.
My 338 ARC, I've got everything, but well, I pretty much have everything. I don't have my stock, my muzzle device, like just a few little last minute. Like, oh yeah, I need those too.
Like you got the suppressor itself, you just need the
The
attachment.
suppressor has been approved. I just need to finish the process to get it to me. And then I got a Form 1 approved to SBR it.
Ooh,
Yeah. So I can put actual stock on it. And then so yeah,
I like that.
I sent the lower out to get it engraved
Mm-hmm.
for the SBR, because as soon as the Form 1 thing came through, I shipped that off. And then so yeah, I'm just waiting to get that back. I've got my scope, and I don't have the suppressor, but I don't have to have the suppressor to
Tell all the
complete
nice
it.
people what you decided to go with for an optic.
I went with an ACOG.
I'm very curious to see how that turns out in the long run.
There was, I'm ashamed to say there was way too much cool factor involved with that decision.
I wondered. It does look cool.
However,
Red or green?
green horseshoe.
I mean, having spent a lot of time behind
I
one,
was wondering, yeah.
red chevron is the standard, like the TA31.
Yep.
So I went with the horseshoe over the chevron for a little more precision, because you've got a smaller.
Is
So
it
the
a
chevron,
horseshoe and a dot?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you how bad my vision is, though. So the chevron, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's the line underneath of it. That's
Yeah.
supposed to be your point of aim at 25 yards to zero.
Okay.
Couldn't see it. Tip of the chevron, baby. Like
So I actually was reading a lot about that tip of that chevron that can wash out with light really easy,
it does.
and so that's why I went with a horseshoe.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it'll work fine.
And that's 4 power, you said?
It's a fixed
fixed
score.
four.
Yeah.
by 32, I think
Yeah.
is the objective lens.
Interesting.
Any concern on the green though? Because the studies say green, your eye picks it up faster,
have
less
some-
eye
yeah,
strain,
I
stuff
have-
like that.
I have something to add to
However,
that, yeah.
2 things for me. You're so used to red, every red dot ever. Well, hence the red dot.
Yep.
But like my eye just picks it up like that. And number 2, the background where you guys hunt. I mean,
It's such a
it's
bright
such a different green, but
yeah, I don't think
any wash out like
So the Trijicon Credo 1-8 that I have,
it does both, right?
red and green.
Yeah.
I bought that at the store a couple of years ago, actually.
Well, I didn't want a battery powered ACOG. That just seemed
right.
Defeats the purpose.
But
Yeah.
but my point is, I have the green option, and I have used green more than I've used red shooting animals,
Like looking through both, you're like,
Yep.
like better.
because
Number 1, number 2.
the red tends to, and see, for my eyes, I have astigmatism.
Me too.
So that's a blast with illuminated reticles.
Yep.
And depending on which pair of glasses I've been wearing over the years, different glasses do better at correcting astigmatism. And I have noticed that I have less issues with the green light than the red light.
Right. And that's the
So-
big thing that like not marketing,
Right.
because it's true. It's not like
It is true for me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be personal, different people's eyes, and But to me, I've never looked through it and thought that the green looks too much like the background, because it's so vibrantly a different color green.
not natural.
Exactly.
green, right.
It's not a deep, forest.
honestly,
green at all.
I didn't even think of that, but
But I think it picks up easier, and it doesn't make me want to automatically switch focal planes when I get into it. Does that make sense?
You have to like kind of like
Right.
blink almost. and then
Exactly.
let your eyeball
because when I've pulled it up with red on an animal, like for instance, I had that 1-8. I took it off of a 375 and put it on my 7 mag 2 years ago just to take it deer hunting because I wanted that 1 power in the deer woods. Beautiful scope to deer hunt with. Awesome. If I don't buy another one by this fall to go deer hunting with, I will buy the rings and put it on my 25-06.
Yeah.
Just to put the 1-8 back on the 25, just to take it deer hunting. I probably won't. I may put it on there for the other hunts in the fall, but I don't think so. What's on there right now is a 3-18 Leica scope.
Okay.
And I've had fine luck with it so far. But deer hunting especially, I like that illumination. The Leica does have illumination, but it's red. And it's that minute of angle hashes in there. Mm-hmm. And so it's not busy by any means. It's second focal plane. So, all the precision guys out there, you can say what you want about it, but for the shooting that I do, it's fine. If I could have bought it with a simpler reticle, I would have, but couldn't find one. So anyway, that green, just when I pull that up to my eye in the woods, looking at a deer, especially in this situation for that example, it was just natural and overlay. Right. So I'm looking at the deer. I don't look at my gun and then pull my gun up and then, okay, where's the deer? Like I keep on looking at the deer and then pull the gun up into my line of sight.
You're just looking through it.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially with that natural 1 power. When it's on red and I do that, it takes my eye a second to realize, because my eye automatically wants to focus on the red then. It doesn't do that as much with the green. Does that make better sense now?
Yeah. I'll play with one.
Yeah. And I can show you mine before we even leave, and you can look at it outside, and you can try to see what I mean. But it's kind of dark out now. But
yeah, I got it for like $1,150.
Yeah,
for $1,800 scope. I mean, I didn't get I got a good deal on it. I went in.
I've never actually even looked.
I couldn't find a red horseshoe, at least in what I was looking at in the selection I was looking at.
But I've never seen.
Well, so I went. So it's an OD green scope.
Oh, the whole, like it's Cerakoted or?
No, I think something. It's whatever their coating is. It's OD green.
Interesting.
It's made, and then it's got the green horseshoe. It's a for 5.56 drop line. So I'll just have to figure out what that is for. I'm sure it goes out to 5 on the drop lines on those, or is it
I
8?
never shot that far with one.
Oh, really?
I only had to go to 3.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
It goes 5, or maybe it's 800 is the last one. I don't remember, but so I'll just have to figure out how that translates for the 338R.
Can you put a magnifier on that, or pair it with it at all?
I've never heard of any.
This is just a dummy asking a question. I have no idea.
I don't
It's
know.
a fixed 4. It's not like they
4,
multiply.
yeah. I mean, you might be able to.
Again,
do
I have no
that
idea.
Would be,
They would have eye relief. So like if you put a magnifier
yeah.
behind
Oh,
it,
yeah.
like you're not getting the eye relief of the optic in front. And I don't know if the You know what? I'll mount one on a gun tomorrow and I'll try it.
Do it at the store.
Yeah.
Do you guys have ACOG sitting in the store there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not for 38% off.
No. Like I don't know how. Like
Thanks for dropping
Dude,
that bomb.
almost everything that Trigicon had was that price. Even the AccuPoints and everything. Even the new
That
AccuPoint.
was on Euro
Optic, yeah.
It wasn't the new AccuPoints.
They had the new one on sale. They had the new one.
Okay,
The-
well, maybe I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
think.
I mean, with the Trigicon optics, I was staring hard at like one of the 10-mile variants for my 22 ARC, and
it's just a bit heavy, isn't it?
so
Kinda.
two schools of thought, right?
Yeah.
Titanium action, get away with heavier scope,
Sure.
or ultralight, and
You ended up going with
the H6XI Steiner 2-12 because I had a couple. So there was like a million criteria I wanted for this scope, but low power of 2 if possible, 2.5,
That's
and
awesome.
then no more than 15, illuminated, parallax adjustment,
Yep.
first focal, which we'll get to that in a second.
a mill or MOA.
Mill,
Nice.
and then under 25 ounces. Looked far and
It
wide.
met all that.
Looked far and wide, and there's a few out there that they were missing a feature or two, and the 10-mile they do a 2-10 or 2-12. I can't remember which one because I didn't end up getting it.
Okay.
And then the Steiner, but it's 21 ounces,
Wow.
and it's a little guy. I mean, I'll have to.
Yeah.
You'll see it as soon as I get this gun put
I'd
together.
like to see that. I haven't looked through. I think I've only ever seen one Steiner scope in person, actually.
Yeah.
What's the reticle in there?
So I don't have buyer's remorse yet.
Okay.
Because I'm not a tree guy. Like I have a Mark V on my
Yeah.
one of my target guns, and it's a PR1 mill, so it's
Yeah.
just up and down. Because I dial for everything. I don't dial for wind, but I mean I dial for elevation.
Yep.
But it has a tree, but the like horizontal axis and the vertical is much darker than the tree. So I mean at 2 to 5 you don't even see, and then from 5 to 12 you can actually see the kind of tree features.
Yep.
But
Is it
came very highly recommended from one of the local guys. So
Yeah. Is it the H6XI?
yeah,
Okay.
because there's 2 models. That's the mill version, and then the MOA has a different reticle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
But
see
then,
if they have the reticle.
like, I bought that thing, and not 2 days later, the NX6s got announced.
Yeah.
I
Is
was
it the
hot.
MHR reticle
No,
or
that's
the STR mill?
STR mill.
How is
So-
it on 2-power?
It's pretty fine, but it has those
lights.
pretty thick. So you see how thick
Yeah.
those are on 2-power?
Well,
Like,
those come in pretty deep.
pretty deep. I mean, I'm talking,
Gotcha.
you know,
So it's
at-
more like a German style.
yeah,
on
at 50
2-power,
yards, I'm in the vitals of a deer just like that.
just with those posts.
Because I was skeptical about that because the reviews I was watching on it is like, it is pretty fine. And the guy I was talking to about it that has one. But he mentioned that, and it holds true for that. So,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to put more optic on that gun than it
Yeah,
needed
yeah,
because it does have a finite,
Yep.
distance. If I'm really trying to keep, because I mean, with those HBCs, I mean, 1800 good, but 2000 more better.
Exactly.
So we're talking 550.
Yeah.
So I didn't want something that would tempt me to,
Right.
but 12 power at 500. I like to ride it, but there's another school of thought on that too. Why not a 3 to 18 and then just ride it on 10 or 12?
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but then I didn't want to put a 30-ounce optic on top of it.
Right.
Because I paid an extra grand for a 8-ounce less action.
Right.
So that was the debate.
Interesting. So how well does the center lines of the illuminated section light up at 2-power? Does it show up pretty good?
Yes, and that's the other cool thing too. So
then you
I
can just
think
run
it would be
like that.
pretty
Yeah,
pretty
it's
slick.
a
So
non-issue. Yeah.
haven't
I'd like
haven't
to see
mounted it
that
on a gun. Well,
Yeah.
it's been mounted on some guns in the house, but I haven't shot it yet.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see that. That would be an interesting option.
Well, any day, like I wake up, first thing I do is I check my email, waiting for an email from Zermatt, like, hey,
Yeah.
pay me, and then we'll ship this thing.
That's what I do. I get online. I check all my tracking numbers for my parts.
Yeah, well, I look at, so I think I listened to Hornady's podcast, and
Yeah.
Seth Swerzik,
Yep.
he's I love that one. That's a good podcast.
Yeah, they got a lot of good stuff in there.
He put together one. It's like, well, I wonder when he ordered that thing. Not saying like they would preference, but
I mean,
it's like, man, like I'm just itching because
Seth's just like, yeah, I got it in 2 days.
yeah, I mean because I think they're in Nebraska or Kansas, one of the two.
Yeah,
Hornady's in Nebraska. I don't know where Zermatt is. I think it's local there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping because I was looking at some other ones that have way shorter lead times, and I was kind of like, man, I could order that and not cancel the other one. I'll just build something different. But
Yeah.
like the American Rifle Company, coup de grace,
Yeah.
because the arc bolt face is kind of a difficult. Not everybody makes one, or it's not what I was wanting because it would have been just too heavy. Because the next project would be some type of PRS rig with an arc
Yeah.
bolt face, like some
Is that a
25
dual
pound.
plunger?
It is, and
Yeah.
it's a controlled round feed too. So
Oh, it's that one.
it's the TI3.
Yeah. Yeah, I just watched a video about that not that long ago, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for it. I mean,
Yeah.
it should be great. Like,
Yeah.
especially with those flush fit magazines, the Hawkins ones.
Yeah.
And then the MDT carbon. I'm just dying to shoot. Like, I've handled so many rifles with it, but haven't got to actually shoot one.
Yeah.
So pretty pumped up for that. And then Ultra 7. So
Yeah.
yeah, he needs to get a suppressor.
Yeah,
you still don't have one. I don't know if we've ever talked about this.
Yeah,
We can't shoot together. Then I'm sorry.
I know. Well, lucky for you, on most of my personal hunts this year, I'll just be shooting a 25. So, it's not even that loud. I'm just kidding, obviously. No, I was going to buy one.
You could probably get away with a 5.56 suppressor. I'm just-
With a 6 mil, maybe.
Yeah, with a 6.
A lot of them are reamed out far enough.
Yeah,
but-
that's what I meant. Yeah, with like a 6 mil suppressor.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit too big for that, I think.
But a lot of them are just a little bit bigger, so you don't have baffle strikes.
I'm good. If
I have
I'm
a 6 mil suppressor, so let's not test this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd make a good YouTube video. Lots of people would watch it.
Yeah, very expensive YouTube video.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I was going to try to get one this year until draw day came out. So
Things got spent expensive.
things didn't get spent, but
Could.
there's potential, and the time away.
Yeah.
It all adds up. So now that's more than a few separate trips that I'm taking this fall. The boss's sheep hunt, which
Your drill hunt.
Yeah, I just like saying the boss's sheep hunt. I just like saying that. And
Man,
he listens to this.
If I got
so
my boss out hunting, he would love it.
yeah.
Well,
But
maybe
he's
he
just
did.
so
Did he know
work focused.
that you were a guide when he hired you? Or has it been prior to that?
I wasn't guiding yet when he hired me. I started.
There was no
guiding-
forethought.
Well, when he hired me, I was actually still taking classes
Okay.
at UAF. Well, not at UAF, but it was a UAF program. And I was still kind of exploring other things potentially for work. But he needed a helper for a short time. He hired me. I got back from a deer hunt,
Okay.
and I had just gotten off the slope with you, because you and I did a temp job for a few weeks up north for somebody. I got back, went deer hunting, came home, heard that this contractor was looking for a helper, and so I texted him, and this was like on a Sunday night. I texted him like, "Hey, I'm so and so. I heard you were looking for a helper. I heard your guy isn't working for you anymore. Could you use a hand? I'm looking for work." And he said, "Yeah, can you be there tomorrow at 7?" And then he said, "I can't guarantee you work past Christmas, but I for sure need help at least until then." So a month, basically.
Yeah.
And that's been the last we've ever talked about the consistency of work. So it just worked out, and we get along. It's a small company, but we get along, and I have stuck with him. And he's,
That's awesome.
when I first got the first chance to go be a packer in guide season, I told him, I said, I'd like to do this, but up to you. And he said, "No, I wish that when I was your age, I would have had the opportunity to do that kind of thing and, explore that and kind of go do what you've always wanted to do and go do it. And when you get back, don't worry about it. Come back to work." And I've done it. And he's always been really cool about it. So I'm more than happy to help him try to get a ram. And that would be so much fun. I like helping people,
It's almost more fun.
that are, in certain situations, it's a lot more fun. Like, there's no taking away from like the first of anything. My first black bear that I ever shot with Mo's dad, my first bear was super special. The fall prior to that, I shot my first moose with my dad. That was really special. My first sheep I shot, I didn't have anybody with me. But even though it was a solo hunt, like just that sense of accomplishment, I mean, especially on a sheep hunt, like that was something. And, helping clients shoot an animal, like for most of the clients that I've ever had, no matter what the species is, it's their first time doing it. I've had a couple of people that, they've been to Alaska or Canada before and they've shot, a brown bear or a sheep, whatever, or caribou, moose, whatever it is. But a lot of them, it's their first time.
They're Midwest dudes blowing their life savings to come up here. And
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
No pressure, dude.
Yeah.
Getting to see
Yeah,
somebody
tell me about it.
experience Alaska for the first time.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
getting to be the one that gets to help them realize that dream is so incredibly special. And if it works out, Lord willing, that we could kill a ram together, that would be pretty sweet. I would be over the moon if he could shoot a ram. That'd be a lot of fun.
Well, you got no plans, so.
And he's got a 3-man tent that you
Honestly,
guys can sleep in too.
Yeah. Honestly, if you know, I made the comment like, oh, if you need a packer, but you know, if I have the time, if I can take time off, I'm going to go somewhere by myself and try to kill my own sheep because I won't be able to kill one in there. So,
Dude, it's funny you say that. Like, you don't want to invite yourself, but you're kind of like, hey, if you need any help or...
well, there's a
yeah,
big difference
dude,
between inviting yourself and
100%.
saying, I'll be a packer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and then he knows he's got an extra set of eyes and
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know,
yeah.
it's not like somebody that you just met at work that's trying to invite themselves along on every hunt you ever go
100%.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you just love those guys?
Well, nobody, like, after last year, like, this being my first hunt up here, I noticed that the dream of being a guide or something, dead. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have the eyes for it, man. Like, finding animals, I don't know if it's just my vision, but, like, the guy I was
Well, it
with,
might be.
he's a sleuth. Like, he's awesome. He knew, like
It comes with time.
bare eye, like, no glass.
Yeah.
We're driving along the Dalton, and he's just, like, wheels over. He's like, hey, you see those over there? Like,
Yeah.
tundra. I'm like, nothing. Little specks. Like, I'm on, you know, the SIG 16 stabilized through the window, just like, he's
Where?
like, he's like, that way. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was like 2 days into that trip, man, I'm just like, quit your day job, man. Like,
Yeah.
so, but maybe packing would be in my future. Like,
Dude.
I'll carry a big load a long way.
Dude,
But
I will never forget my first few times, especially being out in the mountains. Like hunting around the interior is one thing where most of your stuff is relatively close. Like most anybody can learn how to spot stuff. You know, you pick a moose out of the brush line 200 yards away,
Yeah.
you're going to see it most of the time. But being out in the mountains, I remember my first few times and I felt like I was blind. I was out with Remington one time and we were out in the mountains just dinking around. And we brought rifles, of course, because grizzly bears were open year round in that unit, still are. Matter of fact, bag limit went up, so that'll tell all of you internet sleuths where we were. But he spotted like 300 caribou, like a mile away, up on an open, exposed tundra hillside. And I was looking, and he's like, "Oh, there's caribou right up there." I kid you not, I couldn't pick them out. I was like, "Where?" And then, you know, then the mountain started moving, and I'm like, "Oh, there!" But none of them were moving, and so it just looked like, you know, big black rocks up there because they were all, you know, summer dark gray colors,
So
you know,
I'd
like the
hunted
rocks. But
Caribou.
I was awful for the first year.
I'd hunted
horrible.
caribou with my dad on the slope a few times.
Yeah.
And then you know where moose camp is, and how much you can glass sheep from where we moose hunt.
That'll
Like,
teach you how to glass.
And because of that,
Yeah.
I still felt like I was a little short on spotting stuff when we were on that sheep hunt. But like
yeah.
if somebody else spotted something, I found it right
yeah.
away. And I was spotting stuff myself before other guys were. So I didn't feel like a newbie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was in the position of the newbie,
Yeah.
but I didn't feel like one.
No.
And that was cool.
And that's why I specifically said, hey, I want to bring my own packer because I know who he is and I know he's going to be a real big help. But yeah, no, it just comes with time, you know, and it's all proportionate to the area. And I've even been in spots more recently where, you know, you spot a sheep and it takes you a second, like, is that a sheep? Because the boulders aren't smaller than the sheep. The boulders are 3 times bigger than the sheep. And so the sheep can be laying halfway into a boulder crack and you're just not going to pick it out unless you're really paying attention to it. And then I've always found that once I see one, now I've got it, you know, proportionately. Okay, now, I got my distances right. And
The color, like, that you're looking
start
for.
to pick those things apart. You know?
And the shapes are a big thing too, just in general. Like picking out a shape that, hey, that's got a definitive line to it.
It's not a bush, not a boulder. You know?
It has some dimension to it, and you'll pick it up with time.
Yeah, at that moose camp, I spent a lot of time just sitting. It's a spot you basically glass in all day. You can glass all day and spot animals all day. Caribou, moose, sheep,
From
wolves,
light to dark.
bears.
Yep.
Seen it all.
People.
Yep, that too. And so I would sit there, like especially in the peak times when we're just everybody's glassing and looking. I would purposefully. Everybody else is on glass, right? So ain't nothing that's close enough to get shot getting missed. So I had my binos and stuff, but I would sit there, you know, and we had 2 or 3 spotting scopes and whatever. I would sit there and just look at a spot, you know, 500, 800, 1,000 yards out with my bare eyes and look at that speck seems out of place, and I'd watch it until it would move, and I would just be like, moose right there.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
how did you see that? Well, I just watched until I saw something move. And that experience growing up, like I could not, that's irreplaceable.
Yeah. Way too many people, and this is going to be backwards from everything you hear on the internet, but way too many people spend too much time in the glass.
I am crippled by it, I think.
Yeah.
Like in Colorado especially, like I took my bow hiking is all I did. Because I would sit behind that tripod and not look.
Especially up here. I mean, sheep hunting, sure, you need to be in the glass a lot. Because,
walk with your eyes. Yeah.
Because you're going to be looking at stuff a long ways away.
And that kind of bothered me a little bit.
Moose, caribou, even bears and stuff. Sorry, that was my phone.
Oh, was it? Okay.
But yeah, there are so many animals, like up here, guiding in the springtime, when I'm hunting beach country and close to the shoreline country, just up off the shoreline.
Yeah.
I've spotted more bears with just naked eye because it's just a big blob. They all look dark. A brown bear looks dark. A black bear is obviously dark.
And they're all wet too, like right on.
Yeah, half of them are wet because it's raining, and you just see, oh, that's moving. Okay, that's a bear.
Yeah.
And then you put glass on it, but you can see a whole. I mean, field of view. I look at that with scopes. Even I think that's very important on low power. What's the exit pupil and how
field of view at 1,000 yards?
Yeah,
like
exactly. What's my field of view at 100 yards?
Yeah,
and that's going to determine how fast you can pick up an animal
on low power versus high power.
Right, and so that ability to just break yourself of that, and when I get to a spot, I'm not just instantly on the glass. You stand there and you look around because I don't want to miss the thing that's bedded at 60 and have it get up and run off.
Because you're looking.
Because I'm instantly looking a half mile plus with binoculars. It's a bad habit, and it'll lose you an animal at some point if you're not paying attention. And you might never even know. But there's a lot of stuff that I've popped out on a spot and gone, oh, there it is, right there. You just come out right on top of it.
A great example of this. Sheep hunting in the Brooks there. It bothered me a little bit that, and I think part of the reason I wasn't spotting as much as you and even the client were. But you and the client were on glass. We'd sit down and you guys were on glass, and I'm sitting there trying to do what I like to do, which is just to stare.
Yeah.
But a white sheep on snow or on rocks that are two shades of different color than it is, like it's not the same. It's like you mentioned, like a sheep with when you're up above the tree line and everything, it changes. I was spotting caribou. I was spotting a lot of caribou actually.
Yeah.
Although I didn't spot the one he shot, but
I think
I'm pretty sure you spotted that one.
Yeah, because we were looking at the other one.
There was another
way
one
easier to shoot.
Yeah. Anyway, but anyhow,
anyway,
that in that right there when you talked about getting somebody on me, like. I felt that I was extremely instrumental in making that happen with everything that happened, being able to, run back and forth and spot for you guys while you're trying to set up. And I'm like, come on, just
that was its
and then
little
and then
rope.
grabbing a backpack, like here, use this, just everything I was doing was he needs to be in the spot to kill the animal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when he finally shot and got it, it was just like, I'd never I've put a lot of effort into shooting an animal myself, but honestly, it still wasn't quite as gratifying as getting him. It's more work to get somebody else to shoot an animal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean, just the look on their face and the smile, and you couldn't punch the smile off of his face when he shot that thing. It was great, but
yeah.
That was.
And then I got to pack it out the next day.
Yeah,
because you guys continued to sheep hunt, right?
Well, yeah, because we continued to look for sheep because there were sheep around.
That's the reason you have a packer. Or one of the many reasons that I'm there is that you guys can hunt while I carry the meat.
Yeah,
and
you just got recruited then.
What's that? Oh,
you're just talking yourself into it.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not.
Mo and I have other plans, even outside of my draw tag for other sheep ventures potentially this year. So that's why I said, I've got a lot of different stuff all of a sudden fill in for the fall. So
when you can't skip deer this year, you guys were talking about that.
Not happening.
That was a one and done.
Yeah, this dude, I have to kill something with this gun I'm building. It costs way too much money at this point.
He said he's going to moose hunt with it.
I may not moose hunt this year, but I will moose hunt with it. Well, I don't know if I'm going to have time to really.
Well, he's going to bear bait with it too.
I'm going to bear bait, do deer hunting.
Perfectly suitable for that.
I
Beautiful
want
bear
to-
baiting cartridge.
So this was inspired by, and I made the joke tongue in cheek on a podcast early on in this build. This was inspired by Tyler. Okay.
Oh, for the 338 arc.
Just collect them all.
He's shot most. Well, not. Well, I would like. Well, he's pretty much shot everything with the 22 arc at this point, right?
No.
Like he shot a lot, right?
No,
he
not a
shot a
grizzly.
moose and a bear.
No, he's shot a couple of black bears, I think.
He shot a moose.
And a moose.
Okay. Well, he's shooting stuff. He's shooting stuff to prove what it
He's
can
onto
do.
something new now.
Okay.
I know.
But he's shooting
Yeah.
stuff to prove what it can do, right?
There's no doubt that one's going to work.
Oh,
That's going to be hilarious to see.
Nobody doubts a 22 arc can kill a sheep, though.
Yeah.
Right.
that's why I built mine.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I can't. I'm recoil sensitive. I know that. Like
Yeah.
shameless, like to admit.
So to me, the 338
So a
arc
6-pound gun.
is the exact opposite of what he did with the 22 arc. He took the 22 arc, a specific bullet in a specific type of gun, to go shoot a moose, basically to say, hey, like
It's
this
not
is
about what, it's about where.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
And the 338 arc is slow and big. it's the opposite of everything.
Well, because your concern is the velocity that these bullets are designed to do what they do.
Right.
Which is why he has to have a specific bullet built for this gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Which
that's
is a work in
the-
progress right now.
So I would like to shoot a moose with it, kind of for the same reason that Tyler shot a moose with a 22 arc,
Yeah.
and kind of a tongue-in-cheek jab, as well as a like not even a jab, as a
I don't think it's a jab. I think it's just a
not a jab. I'm trying to think of the right word, like a
like to the masses. It would be a jab for sure.
yes, but like almost the sincerest form of what do you say? How do you say that? The sincerest
The
form.
sincerest form of
irony.
well,
No.
no. The sincerest form of
Flattery?
praise is
Flattery.
Flattery.
Yeah, so that kind
or something like that.
Yeah, however it goes. I was trying to think of it earlier today. I couldn't remember either. But that kind of a thing. Like, okay, he did the opposite thing. So then now I kind of, as a
It's
joke,
not flattery.
yeah, flattery. It's not
Mimicry.
praise. It's the sincerest form of
'cause
praise.
it would be copying.
Sincerest
Yeah.
form of praise is mimicry.
Yeah, something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah.
The
Sincerest
internet
form
can
of
roast us on
flattery
this.
is mimicry. Is that it? Anyhow.
No, but
Well,
it's
you're on here
close.
every week, so get in the comments, people.
every other week.
Wow. Somebody let us know how that goes. I can Google it later. But anyhow, but yeah, no, like he did it with a 22 arc. I think it'd be really cool to do it with the 338 arc.
Yeah.
Also, it should get some views. To be completely honest,
Well, and
Like, if you
knowing
want
Is
to-
that the only thing that you're doing it for?
no, I'm doing it because I want to do it. But because like if you want to make it in the space, you can't just try to do what everybody else is do, right?
Sure.
Like we want to make it in this space. So what am I going to do different? Well, I'm going to build I'm not going to take an 8.6 blackout. Not doing it.
Yikes. Yeah, there it goes.
different animal, 100%. But I think the cool thing, you're going to do it correctly. You're going to test it. And if you, at any point, get the hint that it's not going to work,
Yeah.
you're not going to do
Yeah.
it.
I'm going to shoot a bear with it.
Have the dignity and reverence to not do that. So number one. Number two, good, bad, and ugly. You do it. We're going to hear about it.
Exactly.
And but that's the point, is that'll be what it'll be. People won't. I don't like. You'll get people that don't know you or haven't followed your guys' platform for the longest time. Will you'll just get a little hate from whatever city they're from.
Yeah, we already get that anyway.
All
But-
press is good press.
The people that know will be like, "Hey, we knew. However, this went. You're gonna give us the what for?" Because he did the same thing. You might find out that the velocity that this is gonna work out at isn't gonna do it, or what bullet it requires.
Right.
So there could be that instance. So, but
Yeah,
more
we'll
power
see.
to you, man.
So I keep going back to you take a musket with a
I'm a
great
big
big
smoke pole
with
guy,
a
dude.
great
I've
big
never killed
lead bow.
anything with-
No, like an early
out.
or an early musket prior to rifling, or even during rifling, like a Kentucky long rifle with a great big huge ball.
Yeah.
That's not going fast, and it's flattening when it hits its target. And they had no problem killing whatever they wanted to kill with that.
100%.
Yeah. Sure.
And not saying it was
Sure.
even ethical by today's standards, depending on the animal.
I didn't have a Garmin in my pocket though to chronograph my muzzleloader. I'm sure it was supersonic. for sure.
Most muzzleloaders today are supersonic,
way.
right?
Like, I
But
mean,
if you're
I was
talking like
shooting
if you're talking a 1 ounce lead ball, though,
yeah,
out of even like a Kentucky long rifle, I don't think those are supersonic. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Well, I have a Garmin. Let's get one.
Let's do it. Let's make the video, huh? I'm sure somebody else has done that.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
But so on that same note, I think it would be really cool. I'm not going to do it yet. I don't think I told you that I was thinking about this, though, is I'm putting all this effort into this gun. And it's funny because usually you put a bunch of money into rifles for precision. Your rifle's the example. I'm building this just to build what I'm building the best I think I can build it without being extremely over the top.
Yeah.
Right? I could, and I say that, like, once I have, I'm spending the same amount on suppressor and the optic as the gun.
Well, precision's not the goal of this. It is reliability and functionality.
Right. That's what the gun is. So I'm building it based around that. I'm building, and it's everything is focused on the fact that it's going to be suppressed in subsonic. Like every part I bought and built for that. And the fact that I want to be able to use it in every condition we have in Alaska. That's what it is. But it's not about precision. Like that won't be a problem. Max range probably going to be 300 yards, right? For a deer.
The goal would be under 100 for sure.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. So I would, if it works out, I shoot some bears with it. I shoot some deer with it. I obviously do a ton of testing with probably ballistics gel and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I would I want to get a sheep with a rifle, with my rifle, but I would like to take a sheep with that.
Just a severe handicap. Yeah.
Just a severe. I'm not handicapped as I would be with a bow.
Well, there's a guy that I know of that I'm not going to mention it, but you at least know who he is. He told me that he got bored of shooting sheep with a rifle.
I've heard this.
So he shot them with a handgun.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, different one then. I know of a 44 mag lever gun that's taken a sheep.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I don't know if he ever did that or not, but yeah, he told me, and this is years ago when the last time I talked to him. But he said, yeah, I kind of got bored of doing it with a rifle, and
that's what a bow's for.
Started shooting him with a handgun, and he didn't want to bow hunt. But I don't look at it any differently than that. It's just a slightly more capable handgun at that point. I mean, sure, you have a magnified optic, but so do a lot of handgun hunters. Your range,
like a TC,
yeah, exactly, or even some of the 454 Casull guys with a revolver,
8-inch barrel, long relief scopes.
What's the one? Some of the line ball cartridges.
Yeah,
there's a lot of handgun hunters where they have like a little fixed two power scope on there, and that handgun eye relief scope, and they'll kill all kinds of stuff with it. And some of those guys do shoot out to about 100, 150 yards. They're shooting deer and things, but there's no reason to think that you couldn't kill a sheep with it. Mm-hmm. So why couldn't you do it with a 338 arc? I mean, it's not going to work.
So it's more of a jab at the 8.6 blackout guys. It is. Because
I don't see the
I guess I don't
debate.
understand that.
I guess.
So shouldn't be a debate. They've made it a debate. Because they've made a huge deal about it. They post videos hating on the 338 arc.
There's a comparison right now that I'm going to turn you on to.
Okay.
But it's not even apples to apples because the cartridge that it's based off of is...
This is the thing. If you're shooting a 338 caliber and your goal is subsonic, it doesn't matter what size your case is.
Right. You have to download
your ballistics are going to be the same.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
they love the 1 and 3 twist and the damage that it does. I tend to go away from that. I don't want a bullet that's going to act that way when I'm hunting. You know what I mean? Because
I'm not that schooled up on it, so I'm not even going to say anything.
What they show is they've got these bullets that have the grooves cut in them, right? That when they hit the target, they're just like spinning and creating and
the one that
opening
has
up
those massive pedals.
That's the kind of stuff they're showing, and they talk about all the damage that twist does. And I agree. Like even something like maybe a hammer or a Barnes shot. If it was something soft enough.
Does Barnes do that?
So they twist, and they create this channel that looks like this. Okay.
So
and they talk about
not a linear hole. It's like
they talk about the catastrophic damage that does. I'm not convinced that makes that big of a difference. And here's the other question. You've been watching more of this than I have. I haven't really been paying attention to it, but they've been in Africa hunting with the 8.6 blackout.
Yeah, I've seen some.
Have they hunting with subsonics?
Or
supersonics. I'm fairly certain they're using supersonics when they're shooting Cape Buffalo.
Because I think a lot of PHs don't allow X thing to occur.
I don't know.
I've heard some.
I don't know. I'm getting.
They're going to have to find a specific pH to let them do what they're doing,
or they just don't let it be done. They're like, yeah, I'm shooting a 338. They're like, cool, and then you pull out this Q fix and it's a 8.6 blackout.
Yeah. So
I have no idea.
So the 8.6 blackout, if you're shooting supersonics, yeah, it's a completely different animal. But I don't know why. It makes no sense to me. If you're spending the money on something like a Q-Fix, okay, it makes zero sense to me why something that's purpose-built with that kind of money in mind should not be focused on, it can do subs and supers. Because the 8.6 blackout does supers better than the 338 ARC. Obviously, it's got way more case capacity.
100%. But that's not what it's meant for.
But that's not what it's meant for. The 338 ARC does one thing well. And of course, Hornady advertised, it does, and it can do some supers and stuff too. I don't care about the supers. I'll probably shoot some through it just to see what they do.
Well, it's close range people. Let's be honest, like what that was.
Sure.
But the whole point of subsonic is, no sonic boom. Like it's quiet. You're building something that's quiet.
Are either of them military adapted?
No.
So the 330 ARC was originally, they started to develop that before they even started to develop the 6 ARC for a military thing, but it never got picked up.
Well, because there's the two distinctions of the 8.6 versus 338 ARC. It would be in an AR platform, AR-10, large frame AR, and then small frame AR. So to me, that's
so the
why
8.6 is an AR-10 platform.
Well, it's a 6.5 Creed.
Yeah.
That's the parent case.
Gotcha.
So that's why I think
I
it's
didn't even know
stupid.
that. Yeah. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And of course they say, the Q says their gun that what their AR-10, which isn't an AR-10 because it's their specific. They're not
what
the
you
same.
Want, but it's big as.
It's lighter than most standard AR-15s. It was like, okay, well, great, but
the action length. Well,
the action.
The receiver length is still the same size.
Exactly.
I think the 8.6 blackout has a place. I don't think it's,
so
of course
you're just doing a roundabout way here.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is the point of all this just to say that this will work just fine anyway? Like you don't have to buy into if you want a subsonic 338.
In some ways,
to get an 8.6.
In some ways. So when I had the 6 ARC, I got the 6 ARC.
Yeah.
Which you remember I saw when it was released. I was like, I think this is really cool. I want one.
Yeah.
And I eventually
How long have you had that gun?
The 6 ARC, a couple of years now.
A couple of years at least, yeah.
So before it was like super, super popular. I mean,
yeah.
I can't think of a day that goes by now that I don't.
Yes, it was before it was super popular. When
at least
really
I got my 6 ARC, guys were still having mag problems.
Yeah. Well, I think the prevalence of bolt guns in 6 ARC is really pushing it, dude.
I was just going to ask you the same question.
I think if you're a gun manufacturer and you don't have a SKU for a 6 ARC and a bolt gun, you're losing sales.
Do you move a lot of the mini action Howas?
If I could get them, I don't know if
is it hard to get them.
I've not talked to buyers, but the Ruger Gen 2s and anything ARC, can't keep them on the shelf, dude.
Really,
it's amazing. And I think Alaska is a very localized population of why it's popular.
Yeah.
But I mean, and somebody did the homework for me. For me, it was, that will work. Cool. I don't like shooting big guns.
Yeah.
Because I know I don't shoot them well.
Yeah.
I can get away with it's not even to get away with it. I know, but yeah, man. Like I think so. Savage just revamped the whole 110 line. I don't know if you've been looking at them.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, I haven't looked into it much.
I'm not a snob, but having owned a Seekins rifle, several Bergaras now, shot Tikas, Weatherbys, like I've had all kinds of guns in my hand. The 110's a great gun, not for me.
Yeah,
maybe, but they have some really impressive different stock design.
Yeah,
integrated ARCA in the fore ends.
Yeah,
carbon barrels. They're doing a couple more,
dude.
But it's the bolt feel and the trigger.
Yep. I was going to say the same thing. At what point is an integrated ARCA and a recessed sling stud just going to be so common that it's not even special? Like I see guys advertising for it, like integrated ARCA. Okay, there's 15 other gun manufacturers that are doing the exact same thing that have an action that's better than yours, or that have a magazine that's better than yours. Like I
really want Tikka to do it. Like if Tikka just put
but they don't yet. They don't have anything.
They don't have anything yet. Not even this year with SHOT Show.
And I guess that's how up to date I am on all
threaded barrels was their
that was last year.
Threaded barrels and tighter twist barrels.
Yes,
has been their two major upgrades in the last few
not to
years.
slant. Like I love them.
Oh yeah,
but
me too.
I think if they were to do something like that, I mean, no reason to buy another gun, I guess. But it's
that and the magazine thing, man.
If they AICS their magazines, and they do
Either that or offer a floor plate conversion. That would make such a big deal, at least to me. That
I don't
would
see.
be a
I think
massive
to
deal
you
me.
it does, but I don't think to your broader. Most people don't care about a floor plate.
the type of guys that do will take the stock off and get a different one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's me all day. Like none of my Bergaras have the same stock on them.
I was just
If I bought a
asking
Tikka.
Mo earlier because did you see the new backfire chassis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something I would buy down the line. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I
It
think it's
seems like a
perfect.
competitor to the Hunt 26.
I think it's the perfect thing to go on the Tikka
have
because
you handled a Hunt 26 though? Mm-hmm. Ooh. I was really debating that versus the MDT Carbon. It's just I wanted the flush magazines instead of the because nobody I went to the ends of the earth on the internet to look for an arc pattern magazine that wasn't a 10 round AICS, and I haven't found it yet. There may be, so if you find one, comment. So I stumbled across those Hunter mags from
Hawkins,
and it was boom, and that find directed me in a stock because it's just an M5 profile, so like their Hunter DBM,
right?
So that killed the Hunt because I love the Hunt 26. I've shot some factory Weatherby guns with like a 307 model with it on it, and then some other guys' guns. It's slick because it's got the milled in arc in the carbon. It's got the folder, which having shot some folded guns, the Hunt 26 locks up great. Like, I think
it does.
It's fine. Like I have a Sig Cross and they lock up really well too.
Yeah.
So because that's always the worry. It's like under recoil is there wiggle, or if like I'm locked in a tripod and I put some pressure, that kills it for me. So I'm done. But in price point wise, but yeah, that backfire one's like what, 9?
I think it's
under
going to be
$1,000.
800 to 900.
Yeah, under
Under
$1,000.
9, yeah. But I have that 25, and it's a blind magazine, which is part of how they shaved weight on that rifle, which is great. And in that style of stock, I don't mind it. It was like the Kimber Montanas or the Mountain Ascents. They're all blind mags, or at least they used to be.
That new Weatherby Capra. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, that's a blind magazine too. Yeah, I saw that one.
I'm
stupid light. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Yeah, now you got me. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, about the conversion. So I would like to put that 25 in the folding chassis. I even made a couple of phone calls about it, and nobody can say for sure if it'll inlet and fit in a standard length 700 action. So I have a standard length 700 with my 7 mag that I'm just going to swap stocks and see if it fits. Just action length and action screws. See if it lines. If it does, then I'm going to see if I could figure out a way to convert and put a floor plate on it. I don't think it'd be that hard. See what I'm getting at?
Yeah, but
then to put that into maybe a chassis, how's that all going to work?
Because what's the blind mag? Like 2 and then 1 in the chamber?
3.
3? I mean, so with a magazine, you're gaining.
But I need it all to go together.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that rifle will or will not. And if it's a special, if the action screws alignment is off, then I got to find someone who makes it or custom one, and that's
cost prohibitive at that point.
Just not going to work.
Yeah.
At that point, that gun will stay the same, and eventually I'll just build something else. At that point, because basically that 25-06 with that 1-8 barrel is probably going to ballistically be what a 25 PRC would be.
Yeah.
If you took a 6.5 PRC case, right? Because a 25 Creedmoor is 128 grain ELDX, I think?
28 or 29. And then
I think
ELDM's a 134.
Okay, so 128 ELDX, I think, is going like just under 29 out of a 24-inch barrel, I believe it was. And
which nobody's doing.
Sure.
It's going to be 22 or 20.
Right. But assuming the jump to a PRC case would be relative to what the Creedmoor to PRC is in the 6.5, if you're talking that 200 foot a second range with a standard length barrel, 24, at least 22, I'm probably still going to be upwards of 3,000 plus.
Yeah.
At least. And then
without even stepping on it, really.
With the right bullet, especially with the right hammer bullet, I'm going to gain some more velocity there too. So it would probably be neck and neck with my 25-06 as it is. The 25-06 is undoubtedly less efficient. Like, I have no doubt about that at all. I'm burning more powder.
I would say just look at the powder charge.
Exactly.
Like it's probably 15-20% more case capacity. So.
Exactly. And I could go to a short action and a PRC. But do I need to do that right now? No.
How many rounds is that gun have through? You have any idea?
About 70.
Okay, so you got plenty of barrel.
Through the new barrel.
Ooh, okay.
Because it was rebarreled with that 1 in 8. It was sent out of state, rebarreled, brought back, maybe even less than 80. But yeah, very, very little.
Because that's always the concern too with all these new things is, has somebody shot a barrel out yet? You know, how many rounds is it going to take?
Well, and 25-06 for what it is, it ain't no screamer.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to have a huge issue with barrel life. And if I even got 1,500 out of it, be fine.
That's a long time. People, oh man, like the argument I get
for
with
a hunting
every
rifle,
day.
I'm not shooting precision tournaments with it. I'm not even a tournament guy.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'd like to one day, but it ain't happening right now. So, yeah, I'm going to work up a load, and realistically, I'm going to put probably
50 rounds a year.
50 through it before the fall.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. And I don't need to go out and shoot in 10 different situations every weekend and go dump 100 rounds a weekend every week from July until August. It's not necessary. I'm also not going to shoot 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
I'm going to cap myself. I'm going to limit myself to reasonable ranges that I know I'm going to be able to make good shots.
But
I know. I know.
9+ with that 107 or 117, what'd you say?
107, right?
With the well, it depends on velocity. I haven't even done math yet.
You haven't built some type of ballistic chart for it?
I did, but I didn't save it.
It's got to be.
Let me do math here.
If it's 25
somebody
PRC,
play the elevator music really quick. 'Cause I have to know this now. I'm stuck on it.
So with that 338, one of the things with that is that the gun's going to be fun to shoot.
Your kids will be able to shoot it.
And it won't be super cheap to shoot, but compared to any other hunting rifle that I own, it will be.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm having a hard time finding, which I need to send an email to Barry's because they need to make a 338, like a heavy 338 bullet. I think with 8.6 Blackout, 338 ARC, I think it would be popular enough they could do it.
Yeah.
Like they have 300 Blackout, which has become extremely popular at this point. But
that's a gun that I don't understand why Supers exist too.
Yeah, why? I don't know. I have a buddy that has one, and he's like, "Oh, if I shoot Supers, I get this." And it's like he didn't even have he had a cheap garbage Bushnell something on there. I gave him I bought some batteries from somebody. Like his boss had left town and given him a bunch of tools, and so I bought 8 DeWalt batteries off of him, and he was like, "Hey, I've got this other stuff. Like somebody gave me this. I can't use it for anything. You want it?" And it was an Osprey scope.
I've not even heard of it.
You never heard of Osprey?
You never heard of Osprey?
No.
It's the
quality.
Amazon.
Oh.
It's not I've heard of guys have decent success. They set up at some of the local gun shows and stuff sometimes. Nothing I would ever want to rely on though. But he handed it to me, so I'm not going to say no. So I gave it to my buddy that has the 300 Blackout and said, "Here," because he had a garbage 3 to 9 Bushnell on it.
Yeah.
And this will be anyhow. So I don't know if he's even shot it with that thing on it yet, but I'll be able to shoot that thing and train with it and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Run it on a sling. I think I ended up, because I'm going with the folding stock and I've got the muzzle device.
Like the law folder type thing or what?
Sylvan, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Sylvan Gen 5, which is all steel, which is heavier, but I think without optic and suppressor, I'll be just under 6 ounces or 6 pounds. So that won't be too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still only 11.5-inch barrel, but for what it is, that's not bad.
So the 107 at 32 is 2,000 flat at 700 even.
Okay, so not to say it's bad, but that's
1,800 is 825. I wouldn't.
So the
shoot out
HBC is
to
No.
the HBC is still rated 1,800, right?
I know, but 2,000.
more better.
2,000 is better. 1,800 is marginal. 2,000 is better. 2,200 is ideal and up. which 2200.
Still
I don't feel like you're
Still-
talking about barns now, man.
No, I'm talking about optimum damage.
I'm trying to
2200
expansion.
is still 575, which my idea going into this fall with that gun is if I can get it to shoot well enough and I can get it consistent on steel out to 6 at the max, then I know 5 and in is not a big deal.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing too. Once I get a decent load worked up, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time shooting in town at the range. I'm going to go somewhere and get some elevation and
with
shoot
10
angles
rounds
and shoot angles and shoot rocks at 300-400 yards in the wind and really just get practice in a real world situation, not just shoot off trekking poles at the rifle range. And that's great, but I'd like to actually go lean into a bipod in the mountains somewhere and go shoot in the wind. That's where it gets difficult. And there's a high chance that if I get a stretchy shot at any one given thing in the fall that I'll have that gun on, it might be windy.
Yeah.
High
And
chance it
the
will
angle
be.
alone that you're not
Right.
used to shooting.
And I need to practice with the angles, and I need to remember which binocular setting I had my binos on that'll actually compensate for the angle.
What range-finding bino do you use?
I have the Leicas.
Okay.
They're a couple years old model.
The Geovid R? Or,
Yeah, they're the ones with the bent body.
yeah.
Yeah, they're a couple years old.
Is that the 16 or 15? What is it?
They are
Or is it the
1042.
10? Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know they do a higher mag. one.
They do. And they do a lower one too. They have like an 832 in that same one,
Yep.
which is real snug, but it'd be nice for some things. But anyway, like a deer hunting bino
Yeah.
in the woods, that'd be great. But no, I right now, because so much of what I've done for the last year or more has all been Flatlander stuff, I didn't do anything in the mountains hardly at all last year. I just didn't.
Yeah.
Life just got in the way of everything. And
At least you gun hunted.
I did. I did. But, that being said, I don't need angle compensation when I'm shooting bears on the beach, which is what I did a lot of last year.
Yeah.
But for this mountain stuff, I need to go back in and rechange some settings. And, it has ballistic profiles, but that was early on. So you can go in there and look at their chart. And
It's
they
a
have-
range, not
Right.
Oh.
So I found one chart that was identical to my 300 Win Mag load that I was shooting a couple of years ago. Identical. Out to 450, which is fine, right? With this, I'm not even going to use that chart. I'm just going to use it as what is my angled range that I actually need to shoot for, angle compensated, so I can look at my dope and then I'll dial for it. I'm not going to worry about it says, up this many MOA, and then I'm ballparking. Well, it should be in the lungs of a caribou at 600. I'm not
Any shredded doubts is going to...
playing with
Yeah.
it. I want to know.
I have a pair. I think I might still have my Bushnell 1 mile arcs.
Classics.
They were great back in the day, man. They were awesome.
Well, at least you're
But-
not the guy that has an EO range and he's mad about it.
I've heard of that.
Well, I got it, right? And
Oh,
then-
that's you.
Yeah. Well, so...
I've heard other guys talk
I
about
like
that
it.
recently.
Hear me out. I like it.
I'll make you a deal, buddy.
Yeah, we'll talk. So, and
We
the
got lots
crazy
to talk
thing,
about out the air tonight.
I got the 12x42 like right when they first came out.
Oh, did you really get the
Yeah.
12s? Okay.
Great glass, and
Yeah,
because
oh, yeah.
that's my beef with range finding binos. Like, I've used the ABE Sig or the Furies from Vortex, blue tint, but I did that enter a hunter shoot with a pair that I borrowed from a buddy.
Yeah.
Didn't have a hiccup with a range on any
Sure.
target. If
Yeah,
I missed,
they
it was
are
me.
fast.
And like it was very solid at getting a range too.
Yep.
Like I wasn't second guessing. Like
Yeah.
was I on the target? But the glass is terrible. I don't want to look through them all day. And then the Leicas, the glass very good, but the rangefinder just goofing off with them at the store. I
Yeah.
wasn't really impressed with it.
Really?
And then the Sig Kilos, same thing. The glass wasn't there. And then what else is out there?
Well, there's the newest one.
Well, that's why I'm upset. So I love that EO, but we were on the Dalton, and my buddy has the Furies, and he's getting ranges on caribou under 300 yards, under 200 yards that I'm not getting, and it's foggy. I don't want to hate on him. Like it's difficult. It's a
Okay.
situation, but
Okay.
I'm not getting a range on it. Well, then Vortex releases their whole ecosystem of the relay system. I don't know how much you've looked into it, but
Not much.
I'm already in it. I bought the Ace, the weather meter.
Okay.
So
That's
it's-
right.
Mhm.
Yep.
So now, and I've only played with the ELs out to about, what's Cushman, 330.
Yeah.
It works, and for most hunting, like most people shouldn't shoot that far anyway. But it was fine. Like because I check it against Ford Off, I check it against AB, and then the actual Swaro app, the little table that you can make with there, and it was exactly to the 10th, all three of those. So it's like, okay. Haven't stretched the legs. My plan is to do the same thing. Like I've got my load developed for the gun, so go shoot some rocks out to distance. But having that weather meter, like, dude, what you're saying, so this would be beneficial for you. It's like a Kestrel kind of thing,
right?
But you can store 10 rifles in it, and you just input your range, and it's giving you all that.
Yeah.
So super cool. So
yeah. Interesting. Well, yeah, we'll have to talk more about that.
Yeah, I like the EL ranges are awesome, but it's like. The next best thing always comes out so soon.
Yeah.
I'm so hesitant to buy stuff nowadays because I got burned twice within like 6 months, man.
Yeah.
And that Steiner scope's great. I'm gonna love it. I know it's gonna.
Yeah.
But those NX6s so far.
That's the next scope I want.
Yeah. Or the one that the Shoot to Hunt guys just came out with. It's a 3-18.
Yeah, I looked at that one.
Yeah.
I like the reticle.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. I have really gotten fond of a low end of 2. I really have.
Yeah.
I was hoping that they were going to do something.
They'll do a 2 to 12 next.
I'm sure they will. Yeah, no, haven't they talked about it too?
They had a podcast come out the last couple of days. I listened to it today.
Yeah.
I think
I
in between.
haven't listened to it yet.
But they hinted at new scopes, nothing.
Good,
But
okay.
I would imagine
Sweet.
because like if you go on Rockslide, I think that 2 to 12 NXS is one of the most popular scopes for that, and why not? And to do a first focal of that, because I was looking at the NXS, but I was like, for $1,900, I'm not going to buy a 10-year-old optic with a second focal plane.
So I know a couple of guides that use the NX8 1 power.
We're running low on battery, guys.
Oh man, what are we at here?
Almost 3 hours.
Holy smokes! Well, we should just probably put a bow on this.
Yeah, I have a problem.
I think we all have a problem. We'll cut this one off and resume some other time. If you like the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast, please like and subscribe. Do the YouTuber thing. Leave us a comment on whatever platform you're listening to us on. A positive written review or a 5-star rating would go a long way. That's all we ask for you to do right now. No discount codes, no sales pitches yet. But we do appreciate all you guys listening. It means a lot to us, and continue to support the show. Share it with a friend, and that's about it for this week.
Okay.
So hope everybody drew their dream tag, and if not, then you can still go hunting. It's Alaska. So enjoy the rest of your winter while it's still cold, and we'll see you in the next one. And until then, tread lightly, but don't tread well.